aparat. Tapi yang awal kita inginkan, saya harus punya usaha aja. 40 tahun, umur yang saya pengen gapai di saat itu. Nah, ternyata sebelum 40 saya sudah punya usaha. Setelah saya punya usaha, saya punya karyawan. Nah, ini satu hal yang luar biasa yang memang saya sendiri tidak membayangkan saya bisa memberi kehidupan. Nah, ini satu niat yang akhirnya mendorong saya untuk mereka lah motivasi saya. Mereka yang memberikan sebuah dorongan supaya saya bisa bertahan, mereka juga bisa bertahan dengan saya.
Good afternoon. It's great to be able to say hi again to you and welcome to you, our viewers in Indonesia and across the world. And thank you for joining us on a 3-hour news show on See Today. We have the next 3 hours, which we'll use to update you with the latest information from Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and around the globe. I am Rahma Alia, and now let's say hi to Muhammad Akhir and Bambang Aditya Warman, also in the studio. Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing great. How about you guys?
How about you? I'm great. And how about you guys? My Thursday squad, because
Thursday
it's been
squad.
2 weeks in a row. We've been together last week.
Yes, that's right.
With the same.
I think this is the first time for three of us to on air together, right?
Yeah.
Since forever.
And you're usually in the morning. You're a morning person.
Usually in the morning, yeah.
Okay, so welcome to Afternoon Squad.
Thank you so much. This is the home.
Yeah. Oh, wow. All right.
It's so good to be back. To be back home.
That's
I'm
like
sorry, just
a bit
like
French.
Yes, French.
Oh, last week, Adit, we did it with Kai, right?
With Kai, yeah.
So you replaced Kai for today.
Yes, that's right.
It's okay, but this is our Thursday squad. So my name is Muhammad Akhir, and I'll be your sport guy for today. And welcome to the 3-hour show. And make sure you all follow us on X, Instagram, and YouTube, all at See Today News for the latest updates. And with us today is our money man for today, Aditya Warman. Adit, for the latest from the business world.
Thank you so much, Muhammad Akhir. My name is Aditya Warman. We will take a look at market and business updates from the country, the region, and elsewhere around the world. But first, let's take a look what made the top story for today.
Indonesia underlined its solidarity for those affected in Gaza when the country sent another peace mission to Egypt.
Indonesian cross-border transactions using the KRIS payment system continue to show positive performances as figures more than doubled since its launch in November 2023.
In See Today Sport, construction for the Indonesian Football Association's training center in the country's new capital city has reached 20% and is targeted for use in June 2024.
And also join us later in our See the Story segment for our chat with Indonesian designer Yogi Pratama, whose creations were worn by Christina Aguilera. Ooh, that's nice. So, yes, a lot of Indonesian designers have now gone global
Yeah,
because
it
their
is.
creations are used by, global.
I mean, like, Indonesian talent is very valuable in the world stage. I mean, it's not only that man or that girl, but also several artists.
Yeah.
It's not only designers, but also the composer of the music
Yeah.
and their animation behind a very familiar Disney or Pixar's
I know what you're talking
movie.
about.
Yeah.
So we heard a little bit of Indonesians from the that.
Yes.
Movie. Yeah,
you know that
I know
movie,
that,
right?
yeah. All right, so let's talk about the fun part later in the third hour, but let's have a look at what's happening in Indonesia in relation to Gaza. So Indonesian warship KRI Rajiman Weddiodiningrat 992 set sail from North Jakarta's military sea lift command on a peace mission carrying humanitarian aid for Palestinians in Gaza.
The vessel carried a total of 60 tons of aid gathered from various communities across Indonesia.
Indonesian warship Rajiman Weddiodiningrat 992 set sail on Thursday, January 18th, from Military Sea Lift Command Harbor in North Jakarta on a peace mission. The mission, led by Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto, aims to provide humanitarian aid to Palestinians. The move has underlined Indonesia's care and solidarity for those affected by the Gaza genocide.
Baru saja kita saksikan bersama pelepasan KRI Dr. Rajiman yang akan melaksanakan tugas kemanusiaan, membawa bantuan kita lagi ke Gaza. Mereka akan berangkat selama 15 hari, akan di situ beberapa hari, dan kita masih negosiasi apakah mereka bisa bertahan di situ untuk melayani. Tetapi karena pertimbangan beberapa hal, kemungkinan mereka akan kembali sesudah mengantar bantuan. Ini adalah juga bukti bahwa kita terus mendukung rakyat Palestina dalam perjuangannya.
The aid will be sent to the port of Al Arish in Egypt and then distributed through authorities including the Egyptian Red Crescent. The planned route includes Jakarta, Belawan, Al Arish, Jeddah, Batam, and a return to Jakarta with an estimated travel time of 52 days.
Hopefully, this all assistance reach Gaza, and of course will help our hospitals, even though more than 90% of our hospital out of service now. So we need a lot of medical assistance and even food to enter Gaza. Sometimes you cannot find a really clean water, So, but inshallah, this assistance will reach our people in Gaza. And again, we really appreciate the solidarity of the Indonesian people.
The air delivery marks Indonesia's third humanitarian assistance to Gaza, following two previous shipments sent by air.
We sent around 60 tons in the ship to the Palestinian people. It's contained medicine kits and food and the women supplies, baby supplies, and also tent, and also the clothes for the winter season. 250 billion rupiah right now, the donation from Indonesian people. And we will send to Palestinian with three steps. Around 40% as a what they call emergency, like at the moment. And we also allocated for the rehabilitation. And after hopefully the war will be end, we also commit to reconstruct building there.
Since early November, the Indonesian Navy has been collecting aid materials from various communities for Palestinians. The Indonesian government, along with its citizens, remains committed to supporting Palestinians and contributing to global peace efforts. Maudi Khalisha and Andri Saputra for C Today.
Still talking about Gaza, at least 7 were killed in Israeli strikes in an air hospital in southern Gaza on Tuesday.
Yeah, meanwhile, 4 Palestinians were killed by the Israeli military in the West Bank, causing the death toll rise to 41 since earlier this month.
The intensity of Israeli airstrikes still runs constantly. 7 Palestinians were killed during the strike near a hospital in Khan Yunis on Tuesday. The sirens of the ambulances continued non-stop as scores of the injured, including children, were brought into the Nasser hospital complex in the Gaza Strip. Hundreds are also taking shelter in and around the hospital. People huddle for safety in makeshift camps, but the intensity of the airstrikes has people fearing for their lives.
نعيش لحظات مرعبة في ظل أجواء القصف المحيطة بنا، ونحن نقطن طبعا كما تعلم خيام لا تحمي لا من شظايا ولا تحمي من أي شيء، والصوت القصف طبعا عنيف، وقبل شوية صار في عندنا قصف كان ملاصق جدا إلنا، فتطيرت بعض الشظايا علينا، فمن الخوف أخذنا النساء وأخذنا الأطفال وطلعناهم على المباني، على إنه المباني هذه تحميهم من الشظايا وتحميهم من الأصوات اللي بيسمعوها. هدي القصف شوي رجعناهم على الخيام، رجع القصف مرة ثانية وبصوت أشد وأروع من الأول.
According to the Gaza Health Ministry, the Palestinian death toll rose to 24,285 people since the Israel-Palestine war on October 7. Meanwhile, 4 Palestinians were killed by Israeli occupation forces on Wednesday in the city of Tulkarem in the occupied West Bank. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, the number of dead among Palestinians in the West Bank has risen to 41 since the start of this year. During the series of airstrikes in the West Bank refugee camp of Balata, the Israel occupation forces claimed to have killed a senior Palestinian militant, Ahmed Abdullah Abu Sahal. Violence has surged in the Israeli-occupied West Bank since the start of the war in Gaza. 360 Palestinians have been killed in the last 3 months. The Palestinian Health Ministry added that the victims were mainly killed during the Israeli arrest raids and violent protests. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Red Crescent has announced in a social media post on Wednesday that the Israeli occupation forces prevented medics from reaching the site of the strike. They also threatened the team with directed gunfire.
United Nations Senior Coordinator for Humanitarian Affairs and Reconstruction in Gaza, Sigrid Kaag, arrived in Egypt on Tuesday.
Yeah, she is on mission to expedite assistance to locals in Gaza.
United Nations Senior Coordinator for Humanitarian Affairs and Reconstruction in Gaza, Sigrid Kaag, recently made her way to Rafah, roughly 40 kilometers from Al Arish. It was her first visit after assuming office under Security Council Resolution 2720, with the aim of facilitating, coordinating, and monitoring the process of sending humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip.
She held a meeting with the Red Crescent and other humanitarian groups to discuss ways to expedite aid delivery to Gaza. The Palestine Red Crescent Society received 25 trucks from their Egyptian counterparts on Tuesday. They brought humanitarian aid, including food, water, medical supplies, and other relief items.
I'm here because of a mandate of the Security Council to see how we can facilitate, accelerate and expedite all areas of the assistance that is so much needed for civilians in Gaza, given the very acute humanitarian conditions that they have to live with.
Yeah, still on the matter, a convoy of trucks passed through the Rafah crossing on Wednesday to bring much needed aid to Gaza Strip amid the ongoing Israel-Palestine war.
The humanitarian aid are meant for the residents of the besieged coastal enclave.
A shipment of medicine for dozens of hostages held by Hamas was en route to Gaza on Wednesday. This took place after France and Qatar mediated the first agreement between Israel and the militant group following a week-long ceasefire in November. The aid convoy headed to the border after supplies arrived in Egypt.
A senior Hamas official said that 1,000 boxes would be given to Palestinians for every box provided for hostages. Additionally, Hamas fighters are still putting up resistance across Gaza in one of the deadliest military campaigns in recent history.
Now let's move on to the next story. A prosecutor investigating a dramatic attack on the set of a public television channel last week in Ecuador was shot to death on Wednesday in Guayaquil, the most dangerous city in Ecuador.
Yeah, Attorney General Diana Salazar said prosecutor Cesar Suarez, who had carried out other high-profile investigations in the past, was shot while driving a vehicle.
13 alleged perpetrators have been arrested in the assault at TC Television, which was broadcast live and led President Daniel Noboa to declare that Ecuador is an internal armed conflict, amid a surge of killings and other crimes tied to drug trafficking.
Suarez was also in charge of a case involving an Ecuadorian drug lord who allegedly received favorable treatment from judges, prosecutors, police officers, and high officials. Ecuadorian police say they were working to find those responsible for the murder of Suarez.
Ecuador has been rocked by a series of attacks, including the abductions of several police officers in the wake of the notorious gang leader's apparent escape from prison.
Jose Adolfo Macias Villamar, leader of Los Choneros, one of the Ecuadorian gangs considered responsible for a spike in car bombings, kidnappings, and slayings, was discovered missing from his prison cell, where he was serving a sentence for drug trafficking.
Ante el asesinato de nuestro compañero César Suárez, fiscal de la Unidad Nacional Especializada en Investigaciones contra la Delincuencia Organizada Transnacional en Guayas, voy a ser enfática. Los grupos de delincuencia organizada, los criminales, los terroristas no detendrán nuestro compromiso con la sociedad ecuatoriana. Continuaremos con más fuerza y compromiso. Debemos tener claro que este hecho atroz trae consigo un mensaje para el trabajo que estamos cumpliendo desde la justicia en el Ecuador.
Moving on, the Swedish government has urged its citizens to prepare for war-related risks, citing global conflicts, particularly triggered by the Russian-Ukraine conflict and Sweden's NATO membership application.
Despite concerns, Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson reassured the public that while the risk of war has increased, there is currently no imminent threat to the country. Our Sweden contributor Noni Wisono has all the details.
It's been days and weeks that the Swedish government called on citizens to prepare for the war. The statement, indeed, given by the government was set to prepare the citizen or the worst scenario as the war-related mental issues due to the world's conflicts. Now, the announcement was influenced by the Russian-Ukraine conflict and Sweden's prolonged application for NATO membership, while still awaiting approval from Turkey and Hungary. Now, many people regret that Sweden seems to frighten their own citizens, but there are also others who said that Sweden feels the need to prepare themselves for attacks from other countries amidst uncertain world conflicts. Yesterday, the Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson told the Sverige radio about the risks for the war and has gone up in recent years, but the Prime Minister said not to worry about a war even right now, as he tells Sverige radio or Swedish radio. This is a statement from Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson on Sverige radio.
Jag är inte orolig, däremot så förbereder vi oss med ökad beredskap på olika sätt. Det vill säga, det finns ingenting som talar för att kriget står för dörren nu, men det är väl alldeles uppenbart att krigsriskerna i vår del av världen har ökat rejält. Och att det som har drabbat Ukraina i form av den massiva invasionen i princip skulle kunna drabba vilken demokrati som helst i Rysslands närhet. Så att låt oss ingen oro, det är ganska meningslöst. Det är bättre att förbereda sig och ha ett starkt försvar, gå med i NATO som vi gör, samarbeta med andra länder och förstås uppmana befolkningen till ett mått av rimlig förberedelse som man gör i ett bra civilförsvar.
The Prime Minister also mentioned some of the negative reaction to recent comments made about war in Sweden by the government defense ministers and the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces are, they said, overstated. There are no indication that war is an immediate threat, but it is pretty obvious that the risk of war in our part of the world has increased drastically. That's what he said. The situation in Sweden themselves is pretty much safe, and many citizens are more concerned about the extreme weather in Sweden, which is the coldest conditions since 25 years ago. Now, it is minus 14 and feels like minus 20 now, and it's really cold. That's for the report. Back to the studio.
Move on to the next story. After a long day in a New York courtroom, Donald Trump continued his campaign trail in New Hampshire, where he went hard at his adversaries in the Republican primary.
Yeah, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has decided to shift his presidential campaign away from New Hampshire just 6 days before the state's first in-nation Republican primary, a move that reflects his narrowing path to the GOP's 2024 nominations.
The former president said that Nikki Haley is counting on Democrats and liberals to infiltrate the Republican primary. He added that the radical left and Democrats are supporting Nikki Haley because they know she's much easier to beat.
Yeah, Trump also went after Ron DeSantis and said that the Florida governor is in 5th or 6th in the place before asking what happened to him. The former president spoke more than 2 hours later than scheduled in the hotel ballroom and could only accommodate just over 300 people in what was a location that was much smaller than his normal venue.
The scene in New Hampshire was somewhat surreal. Look at the coming campaign in which the front-runner for the Republican presidential nomination is scheduled to face his first criminal trial on March the 5th, known as Super Tuesday. This is because 14 states vote in the nominating contest. Trump will have to juggle Trump's speeches and his legal defense throughout the year as he did on Wednesday.
Yeah, meanwhile, DeSantis will instead relocate the majority of his staff to South Carolina, the home state of rival Nikki Haley, which hosts its presidential primary in more than a month. The strategic shift by DeSantis, once thought to be a leading White House contender, underscores his weakness in the 2024 Republican nomination contest. This comes after he finished in a distant second place to front-runner Donald Trump in Iowa's caucuses on Monday.
DeSantis made no mention of his decision as he held his first post-Iowa caucus event in New Hampshire on Wednesday, appearing in the seacoast town of Hampton, where beach bars and souvenir shops were buried under piles of plowed snow.
Heading into New Hampshire, polls suggest Haley has a legitimate chance to defeat Trump in the January 23rd primary, while DeSantis has been little more than an afterthought in recent weeks. It was unclear whether he would return to New Hampshire at all before the state's January 23rd primary.
The radical left Democrats are supporting Nikki Haley because they know she's much easier to beat than Trump. And you know what? If she weren't, they wouldn't be doing it. But you know, they're great disinformation people. Misinformation, disinformation. You know, they're almost the same, but not quite. But let's not go into definitions right now.
And I'm not running for president to simply manage this country's decline. I want to reverse the decline. I want a new birth of freedom, and I want to usher in a revival of the American spirit. But that requires leadership, and leadership's not entertainment. Leadership is not showmanship. Leadership is solely about putting that vision out, delivering on that vision, and producing big results for the people that you represent. That's what I'll do.
Back to Indonesia. Indonesian President Joko Widodo had sworn in new Constitutional Court Judge Arsul Sani at the Presidential Palace. The ceremony saw all Constitution Court judges gather at the palace earlier today.
Swearing-in ceremony commenced at around 10 a.m. this morning and was also attended by former Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court, Mahfud MD, and several high-ranking Indonesian officials.
Arsul Sani, the former Deputy Speaker of the People Consultative Assembly, was appointed as a Constitutional Court judge in 2023. He will replace soon-to-be the retired judge Wahiduddin Adam.
Yeah, Arsul Sani addressed public concern regarding his former career in the House of Representatives and his position in Partai Persatuan Pembangunan or United Development Party. He has assured independence and impartiality in his new position.
Nah, saya ingin menyampaikan, tentu tidak sekedar nanti hanya disampaikan, tapi harus dibuktikan dalam kerja-kerja proses mengadili perkara-perkara yang menjadi kewenangannya Mahkamah Konstitusi. Maka saya telah mengajukan pengunduran diri sebagai anggota DPR dan MPR RI itu pada minggu pertama bulan Desember. Maka saya juga telah mengajukan pada bulan Desember itu pengunduran diri dari jabatan dan keanggotaan di Partai Persatuan Pembangunan.
And that's a wrap for the first segment of the hour, and we're going for our first quick break now. But when we come back, we'll have the latest from Southeast Asia and around the world.
And later during the hour, I'll bring you the latest from the world of business.
So please stay with us right here on the 3-Hour News Show on Leon C Today. Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on the smash. I'm horrible, I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulis.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget. Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku deportasi.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for See Today with Business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different than baguette. So with those appetite and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very special place for restaurant.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia keluar dia itu bergelombol, menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
episode of Buddy Talk?
Enggak. Dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick. Point to Manado on this map. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulis.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
Oh, I love this atmosphere. Woo! Heading to Gili Trawangan. And this special episode, I already prepared myself for an adventure on the island, which in the top of the list to visit. And this is the travel note because life is dope.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku depotsi.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik ya.
Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for See Today with Business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the 3 Hour News Show. In this second segment, we have some updates from the region. Let's talk about Singapore first. Singapore's ex-Transport Minister Subramaniam Iswaran was charged in court with 27 offences, including corruption and bribery.
The charges come after the country's anti-graft agency, namely the Corrupt Practice Investigation Bureau, or CPIB, arrested both Transport Minister Iswaran and Malaysian billionaire tycoon Ong Beng Seng in July of last year. The ex-Transport Minister Iswaran was charged with 27 counts, including 2 counts of corruption and 1 count of obstruction of justice and 24 counts of obtaining valuables as a public servant. The corruption charges alleged that the Indian-born politician had accepted gratification totaling more than 210,000 Singapore dollars from real estate tycoon Ong Beng Seng.
These exchanges, which took place between September and December 2022, were in exchange for business interests related to several contracts between Singapore GP and the Singapore Tourism Board.
Iswaran was also charged with obstruction of justice by making repayments to the Singaporean GP on May 25th of last year, while the remaining 24 charges relate to the valuable items he received as a public servant between November 2015 and December 2021.
Iswaran pleaded not guilty to all charges and, according to a statement by the Prime Minister, Lee Hsien Loong has resigned from his post as Transport Minister 2 days ago. He will return all the salaries he received as a minister and MP since his arrest in July 2023.
Still on the topic, Iswaran's case has shocked Singapore, one of the countries in the world with the least corruption cases. Cabinet ministers are given high salaries similar to the top brass in the private sector to prevent corruption.
Before becoming Singapore's transport minister, Iswaran served as the country's Minister for Trade and Industry.
Subramaniam Iswaran, commonly known as Iswaran, is an Indian-born Singaporean politician who served as Minister for Transport between 2021 and 2024, and Minister in charge of Trade Relations between 2018 and 2024. He was born on June 14, 1962 in Chennai, India.
Iswaran entered politics in 1997 as a member of parliament in the West Coast GRC. In 2011, Iswaran was promoted to full minister and served in several key cabinet posts, including the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Ministry of Communications and Information.
Previously, Iswaran was the Minister for Transport with responsibilities spanning land, air, and sea transport.
Previously, Iswaran also served as Minister in charge of Trade Relations at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, where he oversaw various bilateral and multilateral trade negotiations. Iswaran has also held ministerial positions in the Ministry of Communications and Information, the Ministry of Home Affairs, and the Ministry of Education.
Iswaran read economics at the University of Adelaide and graduated with first-class honors. He also holds a master's in public administration from Harvard University. So adding more some information according to bbcnews.com. So Iswaran is known for overseeing Singapore's tourism industry, and around the time when the Formula One Grand Prix made its glitzy debut in the Singapore or in the city-state. And we know that Mr. Iswaran quit his post in government on Thursday, and news of the corruption charges has dominated headlines in Singapore's media until today, up until now. And Iswaran is also accused of receiving tickets to West End musicals and football matches. And Mr. Iswaran was arrested last year along with Mr. Ong, who was instrumental in bringing the F1 race to Singapore in 2008. And Mr. Ong was named in all of Mr. Iswaran charges, often as the party offering the alleged bribes. On Thursday, in a letter to Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, Mr. Iswaran wrote that, "I reject the charges and I am innocent."
Wow, I mean, this is just a warning, very, very strong warning, especially for Singapore and Southeast Asia, I would say, for somebody, a minister that was being posted at some of very crucial positions. And if you're not that strong and you don't have that kind of principle, you can basically overuse that power and get, you know, something that benefits you. And Iswaran was posted in, you know, Trade Ministry, Education Ministry, Informatics Ministry. I mean, he oversaw many potentials, and that really created something that blunders him in the way.
Yeah. So let's keep an eye out to this case, because I think we will have some more information related to this issue.
Agree. All right, let's move on now. At least 15 were killed in an explosion at a fireworks factory in central Thailand on Wednesday.
The exact death toll remains somewhat unclear, but a Samarkand Suphanburi Foundation rescuers say that around 15 to 17 lives were lost. Meanwhile, local media outlets offer varying numbers of casualties.
At least 15 were killed on Wednesday when an explosion took place at a fireworks factory in central Thailand. Although the exact number of casualties is yet to be determined, authorities estimate that around 15 to 17 individuals died.
Footage captured in Suphanburi province shows that the factory has been fully leveled, with debris strewn across an unoccupied rice field. The explosion took place just less than a month ahead of the Chinese New Year in February, when demand for fireworks would soar.
A similar blast also took place last year in July at a fireworks warehouse in southern Thailand. It killed at least 10 individuals and wounded more than 100. According to the Disaster Prevention and Mitigation Department, the explosion in Narathiwat province took place at a residential area and damaged about 100 homes within a radius of around 500 meters. Now, rescue workers transported bodies from the site of a tragic factory explosion in central Thailand to Wat Rong Chang Temple earlier today.
Provincial officials reported that approximately 20 individuals lost their lives in a Wednesday fireworks factory explosion.
The death toll, however, remains uncertain due to the extensive devastation at the scene. Rescue workers were seen loading bodies from ambulances into a truck at the explosion site and later unloading them elsewhere.
The Suphanburi Provincial Government's Information Office initially reported 23 casualties, but later revised the figure to 19 deaths and 3 missings on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, the National Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation had earlier estimated at least 20 deaths.
Rescue workers at the scene said that there were no survivors. None were mentioned by provincial authorities, contradicting the Disaster Department's claim of finding the wounded. Now let's shift to Philippines. A recent survey revealed that Filipinos prefer their government to cooperate with the U.S. when it comes to the territorial issue in the West Philippine Sea.
This survey, conducted by the Stratbest Institute, also shows that Filipinos supported their country's improvement in defense capabilities.
During a forum on January 16 titled Fortifying Cyber Cooperation Towards Digital Security, researchers revealed that nearly 8 in 10 Filipinos prefer their government work with the United States.
The survey's results were revealed by the Stratbest Institute in a collaboration with Pulse Asia in Makati City. Answers from the public were taken from December 3rd to 7th last year and involved 1,200 respondents spread throughout the country.
The Strat-based think tank also showed that 43% of the participants believed in working with Australia, whereas 42% preferred cooperation with Japan. The Strat-based president claimed that only 1 in 10 responders preferred working with China.
The institute has also revealed that only 52% of respondents had faith in the Marcos administration to protect the West Philippine Sea. Additionally, 67% of reviewers claimed that the government should strengthen its armed forces, particularly the Navy, Coast Guard, and the Air Force. Experts believe that the stance among the countries in supporting and condemning China is a reason behind the survey's results.
The Philippine military has been focusing their defense efforts in the West Philippine Sea in recent years. Personnel have been engaged in confrontations against the Chinese Coast Guards and also participated in joint exercises and patrols led by the U.S.
Move on to the next story. The Red Falcon Air Demonstration Team, which represents the Chinese People's Liberation Army Air Force, showcased their skills in celebration of the Lao People's Army anniversary yesterday.
The team commemorated the 75th anniversary of the Lao People's Army, making its first performance outside China since their establishment in 2011.
During the 8-aircraft spiraling diamond maneuver, the team trailed colored smoke in red, blue, and white, which are the main colors of the Lao national flag. Additionally, the show featured green smoke symbolizing peace and friendship. The best wishes of everlasting friendship within the two countries were embodied in this way.
And those Southeast Asia region update wraps the second segment. For now, we're going for another break.
Yes, of course. After the break, our own Aditya Warman will deliver some economics and business updates.
Yes.
Adit, come on.
Money Man, what do you
You
have?
guys have been visited to Laos before?
I haven't had the opportunity.
You haven't yet?
Yeah.
What about you?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Me either.
Maybe we should this year because they host the ASEAN Summit.
Sure. What
Yeah.
about Singapore?
Yeah. I guess.
Of course.
Of course. You know what?
Like most of Indonesian been there.
Like most of
The
Indonesian.
second home.
I think this is the reason why our system, like payment system called Kris, is very showing a very positive impact in Singapore because they showing double in number by 2023.
So it means 200%, could be?
It could be, yeah. It's more than.
I heard it's not only Singapore, they'll expand it
It's
to
Malaysia,
other,
Philippines,
Japan,
Thailand,
South Korea.
Thailand as well. So we do not need to like exchange the.
It's the ease of paying.
It
so
is.
Stop buying when you don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise you'll be like broken.
Yeah, that news and other business news I will tell you for after the break. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us only a 3-hour news show on See Today.
The beauty and the excitement of being there.
Indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Where people come and go.
A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia.
I love this atmosphere. Heading to Gili Trawangan. And this is the travel note because life is dope.
Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick. Point to Manado on the map. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulisnya.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku deportasi.
Ya aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh. Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for See Today with Business with me, Caroline Surakumada. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Hi, welcome back to 3-hour news show, and this segment is for you to update from the world of business. Let's start our first story. Indonesian cross-border transactions using the Kris payment system, which is currently available in Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore, continue to show positive performances, especially in Singapore. Figures more than doubled since systems launched in November 2023. Bank Indonesia reported on January the 17th that transactions using Kris in 2023 rose 130% and reached 229.96 trillion rupiahs, with 45.78 million users and 30.41 merchants, mostly SMSEs. The most contributor is the cross-border KRIS payment between Indonesia and Singapore, which are facilitated by Bank Indonesia and the Monetary Authority of Singapore since November 17th last year. 1 month after its implementation, the number of transactions was growing more than double, while amounts more than tripled, mostly by tourists. Bank Indonesia is currently attempting to expand the cross-border KRIS application in the United Arab Emirates, South Korea, Japan, and China, with negotiations underway.
Terus untuk Singapura ini sangat menarik karena kalau kita lihat inbound-nya secara volume itu secara mantuman, ini kan kita baru launching ya, secara mantuman itu aja growth-nya udah 261%. Nah sementara untuk nominalnya itu growth-nya sampai 342%. Ya, jadi artinya banyak juga turis Singapura yang datang ke Indonesia dan menggunakan KRIS ya, utamanya di Batam dan Bintan ya, dan juga Jakarta.
Something fresh and very good news for Indonesia. Let's move to another news. State-owned oil and gas company Pertamina held a groundbreaking of its first ever hydrogen refueling stations, or HRS, on Wednesday. This HRS is set to begin operation in 6 months' time.
Pertamina's first ever hydrogen refueling station will be set up in Daan Mogot, West Jakarta, behind an existing Pertamina petrol station. The HRS was developed by Pertamina's new renewable energy subsidiary, along with the Indonesian subsidiary of Japanese vehicle manufacturer Toyota.
Transportasi dan energi merupakan dua sektor yang saling berkaitan satu sama lain. Oleh karena itu, Toyota dan Pertamina memiliki kerjasama strategi sejak tahun 2011 hingga saat ini dalam bentuk kolaborasi riset dan pengembangan bisnis dalam mendukung kebijakan pemerintah untuk mencapai net zero emission 2060.
The groundbreaking also hosted the signing of a joint development agreement between Pertamina and RE and Toyota for further development of infrastructure for hydrogen-powered transport. This project is part of Pertamina's effort to provide alternative renewable energy sources such as hydrogen, biofuel, and biodiesel to power sustainable transport by means other than battery electricity in the future.
Ayo kita buktikan bahwa kita bisa memprovide semua jenis fuel yang diperlukan untuk mobility. Karena hari ini Pertamina lah yang mensuplai energi yang terbesar untuk sektor transportasi. Jadi kita harus memberikan pilihan banyak. Mau kita isi dengan fuel biasa atau biofuel atau EV atau hydrogen, kita siapkan semuanya.
The company claims its existing infrastructure and expertise in oil and gas provides it with a strong foundation to transition into hydrogen production.
Lalu kita melihat Pertamina punya infrastruktur paling lengkap, Ibu Nika sampaikan, termasuk kapal pengangkut, termasuk TBBM. Makanya saya bilang, tanya sama Jepang, dia mau kemana? Loncatannya kemana? Apakah hybrid langsung masuk ke EV? Enggak, dia mulai mengarah habis hybrid, loncat ke hidrogen. Berarti cocok, kita loncat di depan saya bilang.
Pertamina's new HRS will be the first of a planned network around the country, which is aimed to be finished by 2040. Satya Pramesi and Lutfi Evan for C Today.
Meanwhile, Indonesian Finance Minister Sri Mulyani met with YouTube CEO Neil Mohan on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, to discuss the creator economy on the platform. YouTube has become an integral part of our daily life, and Finance Minister Sri Mulyani took a time during her attendance at the World Economic Forum to talk with YouTube CEO Neil Mohan. Minister Mulyani pointed out that YouTube has become an integral part of society, providing easy access for sharing information anytime. This accessibility has contributed to the platform's growing popularities fostering economic activities and creating job opportunities, especially for content creators and their teams. The response to the rising interest in the content creator, YouTube is developing a program called Creator Academy to help new content creators better understand the platform. So Minister Mulyani supports the program, nothing that many young Indonesians aspires to become professional YouTubers. Yeah, for the first time ever, Apple has outperformed Samsung to become the world's largest seller of smartphones in the world. Yeah, Samsung has been the world's top sellers of smartphones since 2011. However, in 2023, Apple overtook the South Korean company's positions for the first time ever. According to the data from the International Data Corporation, Apple's iPhone became the world top-selling smartphone last year with over 234.6 million units sold. This beats Samsung's smartphone sales on 226.6 million units. Apple took 20.1% of the world's market shares of smartphones, beating Samsung's market shares of 19.4%. Higher demand for iPhone comes amid the company's over to trade in older models and interest-free financing plan. Apple's rise to the top also comes amid the slump in Samsung's performance last year. So earlier this month, Samsung announced that the company will likely see its 2023 fourth quarter profits fall by 35% compared to 2022. Samsung's profits in the third quarter also fell 68% year on year. Samsung cited weak global demand for memory chips and consumer electronics. Yeah, those for the economic and business update for this hour, but do not go anywhere. My colleague Ahir will return to bring you some sport updates. Don't go anywhere, only on 3-Hour News Show on See Today.
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different than baguette. So with those appetite and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very special place for restaurant.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports that you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
You don't have to be good with your foot.
You can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I love this atmosphere. Woo! Heading to Gili Trawangan. And this special episode, I already prepared myself for an adventure on the island, which in the top of the list to visit. And this is the travel note because life is dope.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia itu bergelombol menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
episode of Buddy Talk?
Enggak. Dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on the smash. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulisnya.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget. Ke Binjai mau migrasi. Anjay, aku deportasi.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain.
Hello and welcome back to the program. It's time for See Today's Sports, and you are still with me, Muhammad Ahir. President Widodo recently made an inspection tour of Indonesia's Football Association Training Center during his visit for the fourth stage of Indonesia's new capital groundbreaking plan in East Kalimantan. The training center is currently at a 20% completion level, with constructions to conclude later in June.
The construction of Indonesia's new capital city of Nusantara in East Kalimantan will not only become the center of government administrative, but also the training center for the country's National Football Association, or PSSI. The project is vast, with now has reached 20% completion. The training center saw an inspection tour on Wednesday from President Joko Widodo during his visit on the Stage 4 of Indonesia's new capital groundbreaking plan. The president also assured that it will have its first run with the national under-20 football team training in June this year. During his inspection tour, President Widodo was accompanied with SOE Minister Erick Thohir, Public Works and Housing Minister Basuki Hadi Mulyanto, PSSI officials, head coach of national under-20 football team Indra Syafri, as well as under-20 footballers. Furthermore, Coach Indra Syafri says he was impressed by the commitment of Indonesia's government and its effort to make improvements on training facilities. He said that this place will not only be used for the national under-20 team, but also the women's team.
Ya, saya surprise melihat training ground-nya PSSI yang sudah dimulai dikerjakan, dan ini tentu akan menjadi supporting untuk persiapan tim nasional, baik itu dari senior sampai sepak bola wanita nantinya. Saya pikir ini langkah yang luar biasa. Saya terima kasih kepada FIFA, pemerintah, dan PSSI.
According to President Widodo, the construction project will complete in May or June this year and will have been ready for use by the national under-20 team for training camp. Construction of a dorm for the players have also begun, and Coach Tim says that his men and contingents are ready for this brand new facility.
Kita harapkan Mei jadi Juni sudah bisa dipakai untuk TC. Untuk U20. Ya, masuk ke sini. Coach Indra juga sudah sampaikan siap untuk masuk TC di Nusantara.
Meanwhile, the under-20 team have finished their training camp in Doha, Qatar, ahead of the AFF Championship, the AFC Asian Cup qualification, and World Cup next year. See Today contributor reporting from East Kalimantan.
Meanwhile, Qatar have become the first team to advance to the round of 16 at the AFC 2023 Asia Cup 2023 after they beat Tajikistan 1-0 in Group A. So the match played at the Al Bayt Stadium saw Qatar's Akram Afif score the solitary goal in the 17th minute. No more goals were scored until the final whistle. The win means that the hosts are the first team to advance from the group stages into the round of 16. Qatar has secured 6 points from 2 matches played. Matches won, so the hosts beat Lebanon 3-0. Still from football, a big match is in store at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations when Egypt take on Ghana in matchday 2 of Group B. Both nations will attempt to secure all 3 points as matchday 1 saw Egypt and Ghana failing to impress. Egypt will face Ghana this Friday at the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. Both nations will come off disappointing result in match day 1. Egypt drew 2-2 with Mozambique while Ghana lost 2-1 to Cape Verde. A win for either nation will keep alive their chances of progressing to the round of 16s. Egypt are currently second in Group B while Ghana are in 4th. That's a wrap for sport for this hour, but when we return, we will have more information. So please keep it here on the Travel News Show, only on See Today.
Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on this map. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulisnya.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget. Ke Binjai mau migrasi. Anjay, aku deportasi.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Aduh ya Allah!
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week. Here at
Good morning. Good morning. It's like deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with the sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for See Today with Business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
Flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different when baguette. So with those appetite and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very special place for restaurant.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia keluar dia itu bergelombol, menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
To your viewers in Indonesia and across the world, thank you for joining us on the 3-Hour News Show on See Today. Now, for the next 2 hours, we will bring you the latest from Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and around the world. I am Rahma Alia, and Naif Akhir and Bums in the studio. Good afternoon again, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon again.
Again,
Yes.
gentlemen, yeah.
Of course, it's
The
our
second hour.
Second hour
Yeah.
of the
Second
Travel
hour.
Show.
So many things happen in the world.
Yeah.
And we're still going to look at Gaza. We're still going to look at Indonesia and the new capital city, Ikn, where the third phase is already on
The fourth piece. Of
fourth phase.
groundbreaking.
Fourth phase,
Yeah.
yes. So
Glad to see the progress. So
Yep.
hopefully that one of the venue is for the Indonesian Football Association pitch should be done in June, like 5 months later.
exciting.
The next 5
Wait.
Yes.
Exciting.
So that's the part of my report because my name is Muhammad. I'll be your sport guy for today for the second hour as well. So welcome back again to the 3 Hour Show and make sure you all follow us on the X, Instagram and YouTube all at C Today News for the latest updates. And with us today is our own Aditya Warman or Moneyman for the latest from the business world.
Thank you so much, Muhammad Akhir. My name is Aditya Warman. We'll take a look at market and business updates from the country, the region, and elsewhere around the world. But now, let's take a look at what made the top story for today's episode.
Indonesia underlined its solidarity for those affected in Gaza when the country sent another peace mission to Egypt.
In business world, Indonesian cross-border transactions using Kris payment system continue to show positive performances as figures more than doubled since its launch in November 2023.
In City Sports, construction for the Indonesian Football Association's training center in the country's new capital city has reached 20% and is targeted for use in June 2024.
And be sure to join us later on our See the Story segment for a chat with Indonesian designer Yogi Pratama, whose creations were worn by Christina Aguilera. Now let's go straight to the first news. Indonesian warship KRI Rajiman Widyodiningrat 992 set sail from North Jakarta's Military Sea Lift Command on a peace mission carrying humanitarian aid for Palestinians in Gaza.
The vessel carried a total of 60 tons of aid gathered from various communities across Indonesia.
Indonesian warship Rajiman Widyodiningrat 992 set sail on Thursday, January 18th, from Military Sea Lift Command Harbor in North Jakarta on a peace mission. The mission, led by Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto, aims to provide humanitarian aid to Palestinians. The move has underlined Indonesia's care and solidarity for those affected by the Gaza genocide.
Baru saja kita saksikan bersama pelepasan KRI Dr. Rajiman yang akan melaksanakan tugas kemanusiaan membawa bantuan kita lagi ke Gaza. Mereka akan berangkat selama 15 hari, akan di situ beberapa hari, dan kita masih negosiasi apakah mereka bisa bertahan di situ untuk melayani. Tetapi karena pertimbangan beberapa hal, kemungkinan mereka akan kembali sesudah mengantar bantuan. Ini adalah juga bukti bahwa kita terus mendukung rakyat Palestina dalam perjuangannya.
The aid will be sent to the port of Al Arish in Egypt and then distributed through authorities including the Egyptian Red Crescent. The planned route includes Jakarta, Belawan, Al Arish, Jeddah, Batam, and a return to Jakarta with an estimated travel time of 52 days.
Hopefully, this all assistance reach Gaza, and of course will help our hospitals, even though more than 90% of our hospital out of service now. So we need a lot of medical assistance and even food to enter Gaza. Sometimes you cannot find a really clean water, you know. So, but inshallah, this assistance will reach our people in Gaza. And again, we really appreciate the solidarity of the Indonesian people.
The air delivery marks Indonesia's third humanitarian assistance to Gaza, following 2 previous shipments sent by air.
We sent around 60 tons in the ship to the Palestinian people. It's contained medicine kits and food and the women supplies, baby supplies, and also tent, and also the clothes for the winter season. 250 billion rupiah. Right now, the donation from Indonesian people, and we will send to Palestinian with three what we call 3 steps, around 40% as a what we call emergency, like at the moment, and we also allocated for the rehabilitation, and after hopefully the war will be end, we also commit to reconstruct building there.
Since early November, the Indonesian Navy has been collecting aid materials from various communities for Palestinians. The Indonesian government, along with its citizens, remains committed to supporting Palestinians and contributing to global peace efforts. Maudi Khalisha and Andre Saputra for C Today.
To the Rafah borders, a convoy of trucks passed through the Rafah crossing on Wednesday to bring much-needed aid to the Gaza Strip amid the ongoing Israel-Palestine war.
The humanitarian aid are meant for the residents of the besieged coastal enclave.
A shipment of medicine for dozens of hostages held by Hamas was en route to Gaza on Wednesday. This took place after France and Qatar mediated the first agreement between Israel and the militant group following a week-long ceasefire in November. The aid convoy headed to the border after supplies arrived in Egypt.
A senior Hamas official said that 1,000 boxes would be given to Palestinians for every box provided for hostages. Additionally, Hamas fighters are still putting up resistance across Gaza. And more from Gaza. At least 7 were killed in Israeli strikes near a hospital in southern Gaza on Tuesday.
Meanwhile, 4 Palestinians were killed by Israeli military in West Bank, causing death toll to rise to 41 since earlier this month.
The intensity of Israeli airstrikes still runs constantly. 7 Palestinians were killed during the strike near a hospital in Khan Yunis on Tuesday. The sirens of the ambulances continued non-stop as scores of the injured, including children, were brought into the Nasser hospital complex in the Gaza Strip. Hundreds are also taking shelter in and around the hospital. People huddle for safety in makeshift camps, but the intensity of the airstrikes has people fearing for their lives.
نعيش لحظات مرعبة في ظل أجواء القصف المحيطة بنا، ونحن نقطن طبعا كما تعلم خيام لا تحمي لا من شظايا ولا تحمي من أي شيء، والصوت القصف طبعا عنيف، وقبل شوية صار في عندنا قصف كان ملاصق جدا إلنا، فتطايرت بعض الشظايا علينا، فمن الخوف أخذنا النساء وأخذنا الأطفال وطلعناهم على المباني، على إنه المباني هذه تحميهم من الشظايا وتحميهم من الأصوات اللي بيسمعوها. هدي القصف شوي رجعناهم على الخيام، رجع القصف مرة ثانية وبصوت أشد وأروع من الأول.
According to the Gaza Health Ministry, the Palestinian death toll rose to 24,285 people since the Israel-Palestine war on October 7. Meanwhile, 4 Palestinians were killed by Israeli occupation forces on Wednesday in the city of Tulkarem in the occupied West Bank. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, the number of dead among Palestinians in the West Bank has risen to 41 since the start of this year. During the series of airstrikes in the West Bank refugee camp of Balata, the Israel occupation forces claimed to have killed a senior Palestinian militant, Ahmed Abdullah Abu Sahal. Violence has surged in the Israeli-occupied West Bank since the start of the war in Gaza. 360 Palestinians have been killed in the last 3 months. The Palestinian Health Ministry added that the victims were mainly killed during the Israeli arrest raids and violent protests. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Red Crescent has announced in a social media post on Wednesday that the Israeli occupation forces prevented medics from reaching the site of the strike. They also threatened the team with directed gunfire.
Move on to the next story. A prosecutor investigating a dramatic attack on the set of a public television channel last week was shot to death on Wednesday in Guayaquil, the most dangerous city in Ecuador.
Attorney General Diana Salazar said prosecutor Cesar Suarez, who had carried out other high-profile investigation in the past, was shot while driving a vehicle.
13 alleged perpetrators have been arrested in the assault at the TC television, which was broadcast live and led President Daniel Noboa to declare that Ecuador is in an internal armed conflict amid a surge of killings and other crimes tied to drug trafficking.
Suarez was also in charge of a case involving an Ecuadorian drug lord who allegedly received favorable treatment from judges, prosecutors, police officers, and high officials. Ecuadorian police said they were working to find those responsible for the murder of Suarez.
Ecuador has been rocked by a series of attacks, including abductions of several police officers in the wake of notorious gang leaders' apparent escape from prison.
Jose Adolfo Macias Villamar, leader of Los Coneros, one of the Ecuadorian gangs considered responsible for a spike in car bombings, kidnappings and slayings, was discovered missing from his prison cell where he was serving a sentence for drug trafficking.
Ante el asesinato de nuestro compañero César Suárez, fiscal de la Unidad Nacional Especializada en Investigaciones contra la Delincuencia Organizada Transnacional en Guayas, voy a ser enfática. Los grupos de delincuencia organizada, los criminales, los terroristas no detendrán nuestro compromiso con la sociedad ecuatoriana. Continuaremos con más fuerza y compromiso. Debemos tener claro que este hecho atroz trae consigo un mensaje para el trabajo que estamos cumpliendo desde la justicia en el Ecuador.
Back to Indonesia, Indonesian President Joko Widodo had sworn in new Constitutional Court Judge Arsul Sani at the Presidential Palace. The ceremony saw all Constitutional Court judges gather at the palace earlier today.
The swearing-in ceremony commenced at around 10 a.m. this morning and was also attended by former Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court Mahfud MD and several high-ranking Indonesian officials.
Arsul Sani, the former Deputy Speaker of the People Consultative Assembly, was appointed as a Constitutional Court judge in 2023. He will replace soon-to-be retired Judge Wahiduddin Adams.
Arsul Sani addressed public concern regarding his former career in the House of Representatives and his position in Partai Persatuan Pembangunan or United Development Party. He has assured independence and impartiality in his new position.
Nah, saya ingin menyampaikan, tentu tidak sekedar nanti hanya disampaikan, tapi harus dibuktikan dalam kerja-kerja proses mengadili perkara-perkara yang menjadi kewenangannya Mahkamah Konstitusi. Maka saya telah mengajukan pengunduran diri sebagai anggota DPR dan MPR RI itu pada minggu pertama bulan Desember. Maka saya juga telah mengajukan pada bulan Desember itu pengunduran diri dari jabatan dan keanggotaan di Partai Persatuan Pembangunan.
And we're going for a first quick break for the hour. When we come back, we'll again have the latest from Southeast Asia and from the updates on the Indonesian election in 2024.
And later during the hour, I'll bring you the latest from the world of business.
So again, please keep it right here on the 3 Hour News Show, only on See Today.
the beauty and the excitement of being there.
Indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Where people come and go.
A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia.
I love this atmosphere. Woo! Heading to Gili Trawangan. And this is the travel note because life is dope.
Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on this map. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulisnya.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku deportasi.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for See Today with Business with me, Caroline Sorokamada. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the 3-Hour News Show. Thank you for still tuning in with us. And we have some updates from the region of Southeast Asia. We begin with Singapore with unfortunate news that is not very good, but we have to tell this to the audience. So, quite rare, but Singapore's ex-Transport Minister Subramaniam Iswaran was charged in court with 27 offences, including corruption and bribery.
Yes, the charges come after the country's anti-graft agency, namely the Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau or CPIB, arrested both Transport Minister Iswaran and Malaysian billionaire tycoon Ong Beng Seng in July of last year. The ex-Transport Minister Iswaran was charged with 27 counts, including 2 counts of corruption, 1 count of obstruction of justice, and 24 counts of obtaining valuables as a public servant. The corruption charges allege that the Indian-born politician had accepted gratification totaling more than 210,000 Singapore dollars from real estate tycoon Ong Beng Seng.
These exchanges, which took place between September and December 2022, were in exchange for business interests related to several contracts between Singapore GP and the Singapore Tourism Board.
Iswaran was also charged with obstruction of justice by making repayment to the Singaporean GP on May 25th on last year, while the remaining 24 charges relate to the valuable items he received as a public servant between November 2015 and December 2021.
Iswaran pleaded not guilty to all charges and, according to a statement by the Prime Minister, Lee Hsien Loong has resigned from his post as Transport Minister 2 days ago. He will return all the salaries he received as a minister and MP since his arrest in July 2023. So, talking about Iswaran, from the first corruption charges alleging Iswaran that in his capacity as the government minister, he corruptly obtained gratification totaling 145,434 Singapore dollars from Mr. Ong, and this was in exchange for advancing the latter's business interest relating to a contract between Singapore GP and the Singapore Tourism Board, as mentioned before. And Iswaran is accused of corruptly obtaining 10 green room tickets, 8 tickets named 23, and 32 general admission tickets to the 2022 Singapore Formula One Grand Prix in September 2022. And there are also a list of others, that is the cost of his business flight tickets, like from Doha to Singapore, and there are remaining 24 charges that are obtaining valuable items as a public servant, and those cover a period between November 2015 to December 2021, during which he alleged to obtain the following as a Singapore minister. I mean, the lists are just so long.
Yeah.
Tickets, tickets to shows,
hotel stays,
exactly, so many.
So many. So because the length of time is quite large, expanded. And then again, according to bbcnews.com, Iswaran is a veteran of the ruling People's Action Party, or PAP, and has been a director in several major companies throughout his career. While in government, as Alia mentioned earlier, he held multiple portfolios in the Prime Minister's office, Home Affairs, Communication, and most recently as Transport Ministry. But it was during his long stints in the Trade and Industry Ministry that he gained prominence. Mr. Iswaran had a hand in developing Singapore tourism landscape in the late 2000s up until 2010s, and this was a time when the government poured in vast resources and courted billions in foreign investment to build casinos, hotels, tourist attractions, and events like the F1 race. And according to the charge sheets released by prosecutors, revealed allegation that he was gifted more than 160,000 Singapore dollars, or almost 120,000 US dollars worth of flight, hotel stays, and Grand Prix tickets, as you mentioned, in exchange for advancing property tycoon Ong Beng Seng's business interests.
So some of the infrastructures that we see in Singapore are probably part of his contribution as well, but unfortunately the process to get there is full of violations.
Full of violation.
Yeah.
Right. So let's move on to the next story. The principles of the Code of Conduct, which outlines the standards and regulation governing the conduct of ministers, are clear, sound, and valid.
Singapore Deputy Prime Minister Lawrence Wong spoke on the matter when responding to questions from the media, and here's what he had to say.
There is a code of conduct which sets out the principles and rules in which ministers should act and their personal affairs. The key principles underpinning the code are clear, they are sound, they are valid. For example, on gifts, ministers should not receive gifts that place them under obligation in a conflict of interest position, and that's stated in the Code of Conduct. Of course, the Code of Conduct is not static. It has been in place since 1954. It continues to be updated, and we will continue to review and update the code, taking into account the experiences and learnings from this incident. But I should also say, when we look at our system in Singapore, it's a system that we do our best to try and prevent and deter corruption. It doesn't mean that there will be no corruption. It doesn't mean that there will be no incidents. From time to time, cases do emerge, as we have seen in past years. But that's why CPIB is also a key part of the system. And they will investigate any incident thoroughly and where necessary take actions as they have done in this case.
All right, now let's have a quick look at the updates regarding the upcoming Indonesian general elections on Indonesia Votes 2024. Aru Islands KPU officials were detained by the Maluku prosecutor's office for alleged involvement in a graft case, resulting in a state loss of 2.8 billion rupiah.
The 5 suspects are spending the next 20 days at a detention center for further investigation. The defense believes that the arrest may potentially disrupt the election process.
Aru Islands KPU officials naming Mustafa Darakai, Yosef Sudarso Labok, Kenan Rahalus, Tina Jovita Putnarubun, and Muhammad Ajir Kadir were taken on Thursday to Maluku prosecutor's office in Ambon. The commissioners underwent a 2-hour investigation for their involvement in a corruption case resulting in state losses of 2.8 billion rupiah. Following the examination, they were escorted to the Waiheru Detention Center where they will spend the next 20 days in.
Yang jelas alasan-alasan penahanan sesuai KUHAP itu yang menjadi patokan bagi tim penuntut umum untuk melakukan penahanan atau tidak melakukan penahanan. Jadi karena secara eksplisit telah diatur di dalam KUHAP alasan-alasan penahanan, ada alasan objektif, alasan subjektif, dan itu yang menjadi pertimbangan. Tidak ada pertimbangan di luar itu.
The detention carried out in accordance with the criminal code is however regretted by the defense. The move is deemed ignoring KPU law and potentially disrupting the elections.
Dengan demikian, karena kelima komisioner ini ditahan, maka dengan sendirinya baik Kejaksaan Negeri Aru atau Dobo maupun Kejaksaan Tinggi Maluku telah menghancurkan proses dan tahapan pemilu di Kabupaten Dobo, Kabupaten Aru. Soal alasan memang itu kan kewenangannya. Alasan yang pasti ya merasa sesuai dengan KUHAP. Akan tetapi undang-undang pemilu menyatakan bahwa proses penahanan itu hanya dilakukan oleh hakim. Penyidik maupun penuntut tidak bisa melakukan penahanan.
The graft case had been under investigation since 2020, concluding at the end of 2023. The 5 defendants now face trial for corruption. The Maluku KPU has yet to issue an official statement regarding the vacancy of its team, which could potentially impact the upcoming general elections. See Today contributor reporting from Ambon, Maluku.
A 23-year-old man with the initials AWK or AWK was arrested by police cybercrime unit for making a threatening comment on TikTok towards a presidential candidate pair.
Thursday, arrest saw East Java police detain suspect who is known to be a resident of Probolinggo Regency. East Java police spokesperson Senior Commissioner Dirmanto revealed that the suspect dropped a comment on his social media suggesting potential harm to one's life.
The suspect, a market vendor in Jember district, made the comment impulsively, leading to his arrest. He now faces charges under Article 29 of the ITE law with a penalty of up to 4 years in prison and a maximum fine of 750 million rupiah.
Police seized the suspect's smartphone and suspended his TikTok account as part of the investigation.
Jadi motif daripada pelaku bahwa tersangka ini, AWK ini, setelah melihat akun salah satu medsos di TikTok, dengan spontan AWK ini mengomentari dengan nada mengancam ya akan menembak kepada salah satu paslon capres.
Move on to the next story. The Cilegon Election Supervisory Agency seized thousands of campaign props installed in prohibited spots across the city.
Similarly, in Semarang, Central Java, joint officers conducted raids on public service vehicles with stickers of legislative candidates on their rear windshield.
Meanwhile, authorities urge the public to file a police report following campaign props and attributes that have spoiled the streets.
Despite repeated warnings, legislative candidates persist in placing campaign materials in prohibited locations, leading to a removal of some 1,044 props by Cilegon Election Supervisory Agency. The materials found on trees, electric poles, and protocol roads have already been confiscated and will be destroyed.
Kita menghimpun sebanyak 1.044 APK yang melanggar tempat pemasangan. Di jalan-jalan yang dilarang, salah satunya ada di pepohonan, jalan protokol, di tiang listrik, dan di kawasan industri BUMN.
The Election Supervisory Agency or Bawaslu has previously established regulation for campaign props placement. Elsewhere in Semarang, Central Java, a joint team of Bawaslu, Transportation Ministry and Police conducted raid on public service vehicle. They identified some 75 cars with stickers of legislative candidates on their rear windshields. The placement of the campaign materials on public transportation violates Article 70 of the Election Commission's regulations. Not only breaching campaign rules, such act also violates traffic regulations. Covering the entire rear glass of vehicle with block stickers goes against the Transportation Ministry's safety rules for transportation. In response to this, officers have reprimanded the drivers and will issue warnings to the political parties involved.
Ya dulu ya asli larang, tapi berhubung ada yang masang
diterima gitu ya.
Ya kasih biasa orang
uang operasional gitu ya.
Dulu cuma 200.
Selama berapa bulan?
2 bulan.
Oh, 2 bulan aja.
Meanwhile, a video circulating on social media showed husband and wife reportedly injured in a road accident on the flyover in Mampang Perapatan, South Jakarta on Wednesday. In response, Metro Jaya Police Traffic Director, Senior Commissioner Latif Usman, says in a statement that he is coordinating with Public Order Agency and Election Supervisory Agency Bawaslu officials to take down campaign props that have spoiled the streets and pose threats to road users. He also urged the public to file a police report regarding to improper installment of campaign props and attributes on the streets.
Akan kita komunikasikan dengan ini, kalau jelas-jelas itu mengganggu ya akan kita lepas, bukan karena kita ini, tapi yang melepas pun dari Satpol PP maupun kita lapor ke Bawaslu untuk melakukan itu. Masyarakat yang melihat, yang merasa ini silakan lapor, nanti akan kita koordinasikan dengan Satpol PP, Bawaslu yang ada untuk menertibkan. Kalau polisi lalu lintas kan masalah lalu lintasnya aja, tapi masalah pelepasan alat peraga-peraga itu bukan kewenangan kami, tapi kami kalau itu sudah mengganggu ya kami diskresi untuk kami tertibkan. Kalau kami masih bisa ikat-ikat, kalau masih sangat mengganggu terbiasa kita amankan terlebih dahulu.
C2D contributor reporting from Banten, Central Java and Jakarta.
President candidate Ganjar Pranowo recently visited the Rumah Wurdziter Van Het Museum that was once home to Dr. Rajiman Widyodiningrat, the chair of the investigating committee for preparatory effort for Indonesian independence in Ngawi Regency, East Java.
Ganjar says that he was deeply inspired by the late figure to promote free access to higher education for people from socially disadvantaged families. Ganjar in his visit said that he was astounded to learn that the founding figure of the Republic of Indonesia came from an ordinary family but had tremendous hard work and dedication to become a doctor.
Dr. Widyodiningrat helped Indonesia gain its independence by becoming the chair of the investigating committee for preparatory efforts for Indonesian independence.
His dedication has inspired the presidential candidate to promote free access to higher education for children in disadvantaged families.
Bapak Ibu, dari cerita Dr. Rajiman inilah saya Pak Mahfud tuh punya pikiran. Mesake ya, orang-orang yang tidak mampu tapi ingin mengejar cita-cita tinggi. Maka saya ingin kalau dari keluarga miskin semua bisa dapat akses pendidikan yang baik. Maka saya ingin, karena saya juga dari keluarga yang tidak mampu, betapa bahagianya orang tuanya kalau anaknya bisa sekolah sampai sarjana gratis.
Presidential candidate Anies Baswedan emphasized the critical importance of addressing stunting as a top priority.
He urged regional leaders to allocate a larger budget for nutrition for pregnant women and improve health facilities to prevent malnutrition in children.
During a talk with medical staff and nursing school students earlier today in South Jakarta, Anies stressed that prioritizing nutrition for pregnant women is more crucial than offering free milk and food for school-aged children.
Aside from preventing nutritional issues in pregnant women, such as approach also aims to ensure complete immunization and proper parenting.
Bahkan di usia ibu hamil memastikan kesehatan ibu hamil. Jadi bukan hanya bicara tentang jenis satu jenis makanan, tapi kita harus memastikan bahwa semua nutrisi sehat, pola asuh benar, imunisasi benar di usia dini anak-anak.
The Solo city government has consistently fallen short of achieving its retribution revenue targets over the past 5 years.
Mayor Gibran Rakabuming Raka attributed the setback to the recent smoke-free policies, which are hurting the local tobacco industry.
The mayor expressed his appreciation to the City Council for helping with the evaluation of the city's 2023 regional income and expenditure.
Unmet retribution targets were also addressed during the public consultation forum for the initial draft of the regional government work plan.
The city had aimed for a revenue of 74 billion I repeat that, 74.4 billion rupiah, but fell short by only achieving 55.2 billion in 2019. In the past year, the target was set at 80.6 billion rupiah, but the actual revenue was only 60 billion.
Nanti kami evaluasi lagi. Terima kasih sekali untuk teman-teman dari DPRD yang sudah membantu untuk mengevaluasi kinerja dari pemerintah. Karena ada dua aja yang tidak tadi ada dari ini PUPR BPMPTSP karena ada perda yang baru, yang perda rokok itu.
All right, and that takes us to another break now.
Yes, and after the break again, our own Aditya Warman will deliver some economics and business updates. Adit, what do you have for us now?
I have a news from our finance ministers that right now is in Davos clusters to attending the World Economic Forum, and she met with CEO of YouTube, Neil Mohan, to talk about the opportunities of the economic in the platform.
Nice.
It's
going to be very exciting for Indonesia since we are one of the most, quite developed in terms of digital and digital economy as well.
It is refreshing my memory when I asked my my sister, like the oldest, the younger sister, what do you want to do?
YouTuber.
Yeah. It's going to be a very huge platform in the near future.
It is.
Yeah, that news and other business updates I will deliver to you after the break. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us only on 3-hour news show on See Today.
3 more?
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different when baguette. So with those appetites and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng place for a restaurant.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports so you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
You don't have to be good with your foot. Like, you can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this atmosphere. Woo! Heading to Gili Trawangan. And this special episode, I already prepared myself for an adventure on the island, which in the top of the list to visit. And this is the travel note because life is dope.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, lebih panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia keluar dia itu bergelombol, menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini.
Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-host.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick. Point to Manado on the smack. I'm horrible, I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu akan jadi makin gampang gitu nulis.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget. Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku depotsi.
Ya aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi tuh hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mas.
Pemain.
Hi, welcome back to 3-Hour News Show, and this segment is for you to update from the world of business. Let's start our first story. Indonesian cross-border transactions using the Kris payment system, which is currently available in Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore, continue to show positive performances, especially in Singapore. Figures more than doubled since system launch in November 2023. Bank Indonesia reported on January 17th that transactions using Kris in 2023 rose 130% and reached 229.96 trillion rupiah with 45.78 million users and 30.41 merchants, mostly SMSEs. One of the contributors is the cross-border Kris payment system between Indonesia and Singapore, which are facilitated by Bank Indonesia and the Monetary Authority of Singapore since November 17th last year. 1 month after its implementations, the number of transactions was growing more than double, while amounts more than triple, mostly by tourists. Bank Indonesia is currently attempting to expand the cross-border Kris application in United Arab Emirates, South Korea, Japan, and China, with negotiations is underway.
Terus untuk Singapura ini sangat menarik karena kalau kita lihat inbound-nya secara volume itu secara mantuman, ini kan kita baru launching ya, secara mantuman itu aja growth-nya udah 261%. Nah sementara untuk nominalnya itu growth-nya sampai 342%. Ya, jadi artinya banyak juga turis Singapura yang datang ke Indonesia dan menggunakan Kris ya, utamanya di Batam dan Bintan ya, dan juga Jakarta.
Meanwhile, Indonesian Finance Minister Sri Mulyani delivered remarks earlier today at the 2024 World Economic Forum in Davos Kloster, Switzerland. During a panel discussions, the ministers warned the global economy is losing out on $172 trillion due to persisting gender gap in both society and the workforce. Minister Mulyani emphasized that many Indonesian women currently lead both formal and informal sectors in the country. They serve as a role model for the public. However, they face the significant challenge of the time management. The struggle often forces women to make tough choices between advancing their careers or prioritizing their family. Many highly competent and capable women are then compelled to leave their careers to attend to family needs. This has contributed to the gender gap in the society. On the positive note, Minister Mulyani highlighted the immense potential benefits to the global economy should gender gap be widely addressed, estimating a figures of around $172 trillion. Mulyani further stressed the need for extensive discussions to solve persistent gender gap and is aiming to break this long-standing phenomenon. She called for initiatives that would allow women to work on an equal footing with men.
There is always a challenge for this diversity because you change something which is already commonly adopted and norm. And that's why it is very important to continue making this dialogue and conversation. To be very honest, whether you are coming from the religious, cultural, or any of those, the social norm, they are still there. And if you go and pushing a change, there will be always a reaction. And there is always also setback in this case. And that's why breaking the glass rule is very, very important. Because then you see that what is impossible before, it's become possible now. It is not sacrificing the quality as asking by the gentleman in this case, but you are just making a change which in the past for many of the women and girls it is impossible and now become possible.
Yeah, those were the economic and business updates for this hour, but do not go anywhere. My colleague Ahir will bring you again from the world of sport. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on the smash. I'm horrible, I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulis.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget. Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku deportasi.
Ya aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week.
Good morning. Good morning. It's like deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for Steve Today with Business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
Hello there, welcome back. It's time for See Today Sport again, and you're still with me, Muhammad Ahir. Our first story, President Widodo recently made an inspection tour of Indonesia's Football Association Training Center during his visit to the fourth stage of Indonesia's new capital groundbreaking plan in East Kalimantan province. The training center is currently at a 20% completion level, with constructions to conclude later in June.
The construction of Indonesia's new capital city of Nusantara in East Kalimantan will not only become the center of government administrative, but also the training center for the country's National Football Association, or PSSI. The project is vast, with now has reached 20% completion. The training center saw an inspection tour on Wednesday from President Joko Widodo during his visit on the Stage 4 of Indonesia's new capital groundbreaking plan. The president also assured that it will have its first run with the national under-20 football team training in June this year. During his inspection tour, President Widodo was accompanied by SOE Minister Erick Thohir, Public Works and Housing Minister Basuki Hadimulyono, PSSI officials, head coach of national under-20 football team Indra Shafri, as well as under-20 footballers. Furthermore, Coach Indra Shafri says he was impressed by the commitment of Indonesia's government and its effort to make improvements on training facilities. He said that this place will not only be used for the national under-20 team, but also the women's team.
Ya, saya surprise melihat training ground-nya PSSI yang sudah dimulai dikerjakan, dan ini tentu akan menjadi supporting untuk kesiapan tim nasional, baik itu dari senior sampai sepak bola wanita nantinya. Dan saya pikir ini langkah yang luar biasa. Saya terima kasih kepada FIFA, pemerintah, dan PSSI.
According to President Widodo, the construction project will complete in May or June this year and will have been ready for use by the national under-20 team for training camp. Construction of a dorm for the players have also begun, and Coach Tim says that his men and contingents are ready for this brand new facility.
Kita harapkan Mei jadi Juni sudah bisa dipakai untuk TC. Untuk U20 ya, masuk ke sini. Coach Indra juga sudah sampaikan siap untuk masuk TC di Nusantara.
Meanwhile, the under-20 team have finished their training camp in Doha, Qatar, ahead of the AFF Championship, the AFC Asian Cup qualification, and World Cup next year. Siti the Contributor, reporting from East Kalimantan.
Meanwhile, the Indonesia-Vietnam match has become one of the most anticipated games at this year's Asian Cup. Both nations have their sights on a first win in the group stage when they clash this Friday.
The big match between Indonesia and Vietnam is set to take place on Friday, January 19th at Doha's Abdullah bin Khalifa Stadium, Qatar. With an intensive rivalry between supporters, the two sides will aim for nothing but a win in the group stage. The two sides lost to their opponents in the opening matches. Indonesia lost to Iraq 3-1, while Vietnam lost to Japan 4-2. On a lighter note, Indonesia is set to meet with challenges facing head-to-head with Vietnam since its last 2-1 victory in the first leg of semi-finals of the 2016 AFF Cup. However, Captain Asnawi Mangkualam of Indonesia national football team says that he is optimistic and aiming high for victory since the squad are dominated by young players.
Tentunya sangat senang setelah Indonesia kembali ke turnamen ini selama 16 tahun dan kita dipenuhi dengan banyak pemain muda di turnamen kali ini, dan ya setelah ditunjuk sebagai kapten sangat senang dan semua tanggung jawab akan saya jalankan, dan ini tentunya tanggung jawab yang sangat berat buat saya karena harus memimpin beberapa pemain muda dan ada pemain senior juga.
Indonesia are indeed preparing themselves for the most anticipated clash after a 16-year absence from the tournament. The class is scheduled to take place on January 19th at 9 p.m. Jakarta time.
Let's wait for the game, but when we return, we will have more information, including our signature segment, See the Stories. So please keep it here on the 3-Hour News Show, only on See Today.
The beauty and the excitement of being there.
Indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Where people come and go.
A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia.
I love this atmosphere.
Heading to Gili Trawangan.
And this is the travel note because life is dope.
Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on this map. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulisnya.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku depotsi.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik ya.
Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mas.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week. Here at
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for See Today with Business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Welcome back to the 3-Hour News Show on See Today. Thank you for tuning in with us. And for the next hour, we'll bring you the latest in our See the Stories segment. Still with me, Rahma Alia.
Yes, and my name is Muhammad Ahir. For the latest updates, you can also follow us on Instagram, X, and YouTube, all at CTV News, and also with us.
Hi, my name is Aditya Warman, but before anything else, let's what's making headlines for today.
Indonesia underlined its solidarity for those affected in Gaza when the country sent another peace mission to Egypt.
In the world of business, Indonesian cross-border transactions using the KRIS payment system continue to show positive performances as figures more than doubled since its launch in November 2023.
In See Today Sports, construction for the Indonesian Football Association's training center in the country's new capital city has reached 20% and is targeted for use in June 2024.
And also join us in our See the Story segment for our chat with Indonesian designer Yogi Pratama, whose creations were worn by Christina Aguilera.
What a girl wants is this dress that Christina Aguilera is wearing. Not only it is elegant, it's sexy, it's beautiful, and it also complements her diva persona. And today, we have the pleasure to chat with the fashion designer who designed Christina Aguilera's dress. And do you know that he is an Indonesian fashion designer? So please welcome Yogi Pratama. Alright, Mas Yogi, halo. Yeah, Mas, thank you for joining us today. So, how are you?
Oh, baik. I'm good. Thank you.
Alright, Mas Yogi, kita mendapatkan exciting news nih lately, di mana Mas Yogi tuh membuat Indonesian citizen bangga banget nih, Mas, karena karya desain Indonesia itu digunakan oleh penyanyi internasional Christina Aguilera, which is the diva, Mas. Oke, Mas Yogi mungkin bisa ceritain nggak sih sedikit gimana awalnya bisa kerja bareng dengan Christina Aguilera?
Pada awalnya last September 2023, stylist mereka tuh kontak kita punya PR, and then kita mulai brainstorming, and then they send us the mood board, and then kita sketch beberapa. Awalnya kita bingung dan agak kaget, tapi akhirnya prosesnya kita jalanin terus sampai akhirnya bajunya dikirim, and then early December dressnya nyampe. Udah gitu kita tinggal tunggu prosesnya sampai akhir tahun gitu.
That's so exciting, Mas Yogi. Mungkin bisa nggak sih ceritain gimana sih, Mas, perasaannya bisa kerjasama bareng di diva itself, Christina Aguilera?
Awalnya perasaan saya sih sebetulnya sangat happy sekali ya, agak emotional dikit karena aku kan anak 90-an, kita kan grow up-nya sama Christina Aguilera, jadi agak sempat kaget, begitu agak terharu dikit, hari H tuh gemeter, udah gitu masih nggak percaya, tapi ya pasti happy.
Mas Yogi, from your social media, we've seen you've been working alongside Indonesian artists as well as international artists. Mungkin bisa diceritain, Mas, sedikit gimana sih perbedaannya antara bekerja dengan artis Indonesia dan juga artis luar negeri seperti itu, Mas?
Menurut aku sesuatu yang mungkin saya juga bukan kaget ya. Kita bekerja sama beberapa artis yang ada di ibu kota. Kita juga sangat sudah terbiasa, dan sebetulnya mirip-mirip sih. Dalam arti kata gini loh, artis di luar negeri dan artis di Indonesia itu tuh menurut aku mereka tahu mereka maunya apa. Mereka juga sangat mengakomodir dan menghargai pekerjaan desainer, pekerjaan tukang jahitnya sendiri. Jadi mereka tuh sangat kooperatif, menggunakan underwear yang mereka nyaman gunakan, mereka suka pakai, sehingga aspek satu look itu tuh nggak cuma dari desainernya doang, tapi dari talentnya sendiri juga ada. Jadi khususnya Christina Aguilera kemarin dan recent kerja sama kita dengan BCL kemarin, mereka tuh sangat kooperatif dalam arti gini loh. Saya udah punya pakaian dalam yang saya nyaman sendiri yang selalu saya pakai. Jadi sebetulnya pada saat mereka fitting, saya cuma mau menggunakan pakaian dalam yang bukan cuma mau. Biar membantu proses, mereka sudah menggunakan pakaian dalam yang biasanya mereka gunakan. Sehingga kita kerjanya jauh lebih mudah dan sangat terbantu gitu.
Nah, saat bekerja dengan Christina Aguilera itu berapa lama sih, Mas, prosesnya dari mulai pertama pitching sampai dressnya itu jadi?
Dari September itu pertama kali mereka pitching. Kita proses September, Oktober, harusnya dress itu kalau nggak salah harusnya nyampe early Oktober karena mereka mau pakai untuk photoshoot kalau nggak salah. Tapi kita undur, nggak masalah, nyampainya early December. Jadi kemungkinan September, Oktober, November, 3 bulan kurang lebih.
Kalau selain dari gaunnya Christina Aguilera, biasanya proses pembuatan gaunnya itu sendiri berapa lama, Mas, secara general?
Sebetulnya dari desain sampai kita eksekusi itu 1 bulan itu cukup banget. Asalkan kliennya atau si pengguna itu kooperatif ya, tektokannya, komunikasinya tuh berjalan lancar, mereka dapat feedback dari kita dapat feedback dari mereka juga cepat, mereka ambil keputusannya juga cepat. Sebetulnya tuh prosesnya cukup cepat kok, 1 bulan kita bisa kerjain.
Oh ternyata prosesnya memang cukup cepat ya Mas ya. Oke, nah Mas, kalau Christina Aguilera itu sendiri kan posisinya tidak di Indonesia ya, di luar negeri. Nah itu bagaimana sih Mas saat memiliki klien yang di luar Indonesia? Bagaimana sih Mas proses komunikasinya? Lalu kan kalau proses fitting tuh biasanya ada dalam beberapa tahap seperti itu ya Mas. Nah itu bisa diceritakan gimana sih Mas prosesnya saat harus bekerja dengan klien yang ada di luar Indonesia?
Aku cukup happy ya karena feedback dari mereka tuh cepet banget dan mereka tuh cukup on time dan disiplin. Dalam arti gini, perbedaan waktu kan di sini pagi, di sana malam. Mereka setiap kali feedback ke kita tuh jamnya selalu sama. Jadi pada saat bajunya kita kirim, mereka sampai langsung fitting. Ketika fitting mereka langsung kabarin. Ada beberapa kendala, mereka eksekusi, mereka komunikasi dengan kita ACC. Beberapa kali seperti itu dan cukup lancar sampai hari H. Hanya memang proses desain awalnya itu dari desain pertama hingga desain terakhir ada perubahan dikit dan itu juga sama ya prosesnya. Mereka kasih kita feedback dengan cepat, kita langsung gambar ulang juga, kita langsung kirim, mereka langsung kasih jawaban. Jadi menurut aku patut dicontoh buat semua desainer dan semua pekerja seni, karena kan menurut aku desainer dan pekerja seni seperti penyanyi atau artis itu kan kita hidupnya kan berkesinambungan ya, saling membantu. Menurut aku tuh patut dicontoh sih karena itu proses yang sangat mempermudah satu sama lain.
Selain BCL dan Christina Aguilera, artis siapa lagi sih Mas yang Mas Yogi pernah bekerja sama?
Aku pernah kerja sama Ariana Greenblatt waktu lagi Barbie premiere, itu juga prosesnya sama. Stylist mereka langsung kontak PR kita, mereka pilih baju, and then waktu itu prosesnya cepat sekali, kita nggak bisa kirim, jadi terpaksa tim PR kita langsung jalan ke sana, Denny Simon, langsung berangkat ke Amerika bawa bajunya itu. Kalau untuk luar negeri baru itu ada beberapa mungkin upcoming, cuman aku belum bisa kasih tahu. Kalau di Jakarta ya ada BCL, ada Eva Celia dan lain-lain.
Alright, selain artis yang Mas Yogi pernah design for, siapa lagi nih Mas yang merupakan cita-cita Mas Yogi pengen banget nih ngedesain dress untuk artis-artis ini?
Kalau internasional itu satu influencer yang aku cukup suka, namanya Tina Leong. Dia Amerika di New York. Satu lagi Elle Fanning kalau di Hollywood ya, karena aku suka estetiknya sih. Maksudnya cara mereka membawakan bajunya dan lain-lain. Kalau di Indonesia sendiri, banyak saya maunya.
Salah satunya dia Mas, siapa nih kira-kira?
Saya mau Titi DJ.
Oke, Titi DJ, the Indonesian diva ya Mas ya?
Iya.
Diva ya, ada.
Iya, karena eksploratif dan sepertinya beliau tuh bukan menyenangkan ya, maksudnya suka mencoba beberapa ide baru.
And she has a very strong persona juga ya Mas ya?
Gitu.
Oke, moving on Mas Yogi. Untuk Mas Yogi bisa mencapai titik ini pasti kan ada prosesnya ya Mas ya. Nah mungkin bisa diceritain Mas, prosesnya seperti apa sih mulai dari pendidikan, lalu di awal karir Mas Yogi hingga bisa mencapai titik di saat ini itu seperti apa Mas?
Aku tuh mulai kuliah umur 15 tahun di Esmod Jakarta. Setelah kuliah umur 15 tahun, aku lulus umur 17 tahun. Setelah itu aku sempat kerja jadi stylist, freelance stylist, dan beberapa pekerjaan di majalah zaman dulu. Udah gitu saya juga belajar jadi wardrobe film, waktu itu stylist film waktu itu, sama film yang judulnya Belahan Jiwa kalau nggak salah, itu udah lama sekali. 2008 2006 kalau nggak salah. Setelah itu saya coba belajar bahasa Prancis. Udah gitu karena waktu itu tujuannya saya mau sekolah fashion di Paris. Tapi setelah saya sampai di Paris ternyata saya nggak terlalu suka mengikuti ritme pelajaran yang diberikan, sehingga saya lebih banyak praktek sendiri waktu itu. Dan akhirnya 2009 saya pulang ke Jakarta dan saya mulai mengerjakan ready to wear brand punya saya sendiri yang namanya Labels of Regalia 2009 waktu itu. 2013-2012 saya mulai pelan-pelan mengumpulkan klien custom dari brand ready to wear. Mereka request dipanjangin, dipendekin, ganti warna, penambahan aplikasi dan lain-lain. Dari situ saya belajar untuk punya klien custom hingga sekarang gitu.
Sebagai perancang busana dari Indonesia, Mas, momen apa Mas dari panjang perjalanan karir Mas Yogi ini yang merupakan momen paling membanggakan bagi Mas Yogi?
Aduh, tentu saja, saya kalau diceritain, Modi sebetulnya kalau diceritain tuh bukan banyak, saya bingung pilihnya antara pertama kali saya direkrut atau saya diundang menjadi anggota Ikatan Perancang Mode Indonesia, karena pada saat itu saya adalah anggota termuda di Ikatan Perancang Mode Indonesia itu tahun 2013, atau Ariana Green. Kenapa?
Usia termuda tuh di usia berapa tuh, Mas?
Saya lupa loh, kalau nggak salah 28 ya, 28 atau 27, saya udah nggak terlalu ingat, atau malah 26, saya juga lupa. Atau momen Ariana Greenblatt pada saat ada di Barbie, atau mungkin Christina Aguilera, karena menurut saya tiga-tiganya cukup menyenangkan. Tapi kalau kita bicara lebih dari itu, mungkin saya cukup bangga, saya sudah bisa menjadi desainer yang bisa bermanfaat mungkin ya. Nah, itu yang paling penting sih sebetulnya.
Mas, kalau aku lihat dari beberapa desain Mas Yogi ya, Mas Yogi juga mengeksplor berbagai culture termasuk Cheongsam ya Mas. Nah, bagaimana kalau menggabungkan dengan kain tradisional Indonesia dalam desain Mas Yogi selanjutnya? Apakah pernah kepikiran tuh Mas untuk melakukan hal tersebut?
Nah, ini gue punya perspektif sendiri terhadap kain atau wastra Indonesia ya. Bukan berarti saya tidak mencampurkan unsur atau kain di Indonesia. Menurut saya kain di Indonesia itu harus digunakan di acara yang ada bendera Indonesianya. Itu menurut gua. Itu menurut aku, bebas menurut orang lain, tapi ketika acara yang cukup acara yang sangat formal dan cukup sakral mungkin. Saya suka menggunakan kain-kain dari Indonesia. Itu menurut saya. Kalau misalkan acaranya nggak terlalu formal, kayaknya saya nggak mau menggunakan kain Indonesia deh. Karena mungkin saya menganggap kain Indonesia tuh dari pengerjaannya, dari mulai motifnya itu sangat dalam sekali artinya. Gitu. Jadi tidak menutup kemungkinan suatu saat saya akan gunakan di acara-acara yang sangat formal.
Terlebih kalau dilihat-lihat gaun yang Mas Yogi desain itu juga mostly white dan juga menggunakan payet. Nah, apakah ada story behind that, Mas?
Sebetulnya gini, menurut aku di Indonesia sendiri tuh market yang sangat bergerak itu adalah wedding atau bridal industry, sehingga social media kita banyak menampilkan wedding gown. Sebetulnya itu sih kenapa banyak desain warnanya putih dan menggunakan aplikasi atau menggunakan bidding. Balik lagi, aplikasi itu kan request daripada klien.
Termasuk bajunya Christina Aguilera juga ya Mas ya, itu warnanya silver dan juga banyak stones.
Kalau baju Christina itu sebetulnya warna dasarnya itu nude dan kita menggunakan rhinestone yang bentuknya rantai warnanya silver. Sehingga kita sudah brainstorming kalau misalkan dia ada di atas panggung dan ditembak sama lampu tuh dia silvery yang keluar. Nude colornya sendiri itu benar-benar warna skin tone.
Oke, interesting. Jadi memang harus disesuaikan juga ya Mas dressnya itu sendiri dengan eventnya. Oke, Mas selanjutnya nih Mas, boleh nggak sih Mas spill range harganya tuh berapa sih untuk ngedesain gaun atau jas sama Mas Yogi?
Waduh, Modi, sepertinya kalau hal tersebut bukan saya nggak bisa spill, tapi cukup bervariasi ya, tergantung request kliennya.
Oke, Mas.
Menurut aku itu bukan. Menurut aku itu tergantung request klien nomor satu. Dan balik lagi, menurut aku desainer atau bikin baju itu sebuah karya seni. Jadi price-nya tuh berbeda-beda.
Mas, sebagai perancang busana, siapa nih Mas inspirasi Mas Yogi sejak kecil?
Aduh, klise nggak sih kalau gue jawab Christina Aguilera lagi?
Ya Allah, ya ampun, berarti emang Christina Aguilera tuh udah jadi idolnya Mas Yogi dari kecil ya?
Christina Aguilera tuh cukup inspiring ya. Iya, karena gini, kalau idol itu, aku rasa Christina Aguilera tuh salah satu artis yang menemani perjalanan pertumbuhan seorang Yogi Pratama kali ya, ketika remaja. Karena kan kita di molding ketika kita remaja kan, gitu.
Berarti dengan kemarin ngedesain baju untuk Christina Aguilera itu udah nge-tick off satu bucket list Mas Yogi for so long ya Mas ya?
Iya, itu salah satu ngetik bucket list aku pribadi. Selain hal-hal membanggakan atau menyenangkan yang tadi, itu juga cukup berpengaruh menurut saya. Gitu.
Mas Yogi, last question. Mungkin di tahun 2024, apa nih Mas resolusinya di awal tahun ini? Apa yang bisa masyarakat expect lagi dari karya-karya Mas Yogi?
Mungkin kalau saya ditanya bucket list apa lagi, udah pasti going global. Gimana caranya supaya studio kita atau atelier kita bisa punya standar internasional produknya. Itu yang paling penting sih menurut aku, karena itu jalannya berbarengan bersama achievement seperti mungkin bisa dipakai sama artis di luar negeri, atau misalkan bisa jualan, atau misalkan kita bisa lebih global gitu. Dan sebetulnya gini, aku mengutip kalimat mentorku Ibu Syamsindar Isa. Beliau bilang, aduh nggak usah repot-repot kita go internasional atau global. Kita pasarkan dulu baju kita di 200 juta penduduk Indonesia ini dari Sabang sampai Merauke. Nah mungkin pengen seperti itu kali ya nanti ke depannya. Itu paling penting sih menurut aku.
Alright, that's it from me Mas Yogi. Thank you so much for joining us today. Oke, thank you banget nih Mas ya.
Thank you ya Maudi ya.
Alright, hope to see you soon Mas. Alright, see you. And that concludes our chat with Yogi Pratama. Stay tuned in 3-Hour News Show.
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different when baguette. So with those appetite and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very special place for restaurant.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports that you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
You don't have to be good with your foot.
Okay. You can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Oh, I love this atmosphere. Woo! Heading to Gili Trawangan. And this special episode, I already prepared myself for an adventure on the island, which in the top of the list to visit. And this is the travel note because life is dope.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia itu bergelombol menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-host.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Ayan, Nico!
Point to Manado on the smash. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulisnya.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
About you that makes me indulge in the company of your own kind. Ke Binjai mau migrasi. Anjay, aku deportasi.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain.
To the 3-hour news show. You are still watching our signature segment, See the Stories. Now, it's January and the weather is gloomy.
It is gloomy.
Yeah, but sometimes we have sun as well here in Jakarta. So, you know, when it's hot, what are you craving usually? I always crave for something fresh.
You know what I mean? Like when I saw this, kedondong.
You already saw it,
In Bahasa Indonesia, it's kedondong.
Kedondong.
What is in English?
Arambella.
Arambella, yes. Arambella. I refreshing my memory when I was a kid. My grandmothers always having a kedondong juice in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Young boy juice.
The taste is so weird when I was a kid, but
it's so sour, right?
Sour.
Yeah,
It's
a
a little
sour. But kedondong juice, you have to put a salt inside. So the taste is like salty, sweet. In the same time.
That's
so you
like
got that tips from your grandmother?
Yes, grandmother.
Yeah, that's like kiamboy juice where you find also in some of the restaurants.
You're right.
Like Vietnamese or Chinese?
Yes.
I think Vietnamese, yeah.
Like Indochina restaurant.
Yeah, I love it in rujak, you know, with a peanut, spicy peanut sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, we will conclude our craft food for this, yeah?
I love the colors.
Yeah, the colors and of course talking about fruits. I think we are on diet, guys, right?
It's
fruits.
Okay.
Diet.
Fruits, just perfect. So in this segment, we will talk about fruits in Indonesia or in Southeast Asia, yeah, particularly,
some also
that are in season this month. So for the first story, we have the story of the duku.
Duku.
We assure you that everything here is low fat.
Yeah.
It's not like avocado or durian, right?
Yes,
it's low fat.
Yeah, I know.
It's low-fat fruit.
Yeah.
So the fruit season lasts from January through March. Annual fruits, especially like the duku, can harvest in the month, mainly in January. Let's take a look.
As you can see, the tropical fruit duku is indigenous to Southeast Asia. Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia are home to the duku. There are several varieties of the fruits such as langsat and kokosan. It's similar actually, yeah? Langsat and kokosan, I haven't tried it. Or maybe I've tried it, but I don't know the name at the time. So in Indonesia, duku komering, yes, from South Sumatra. Duku Matasih and duku condet.
Duku condet.
Matasih is from Central Java, yeah? And duku condet from Jakarta. So is there any duku trees over there? Are commonly planted. The fruit typically thrives in regions with consistently high annual rainfall, like the current one we have in Jakarta. Yes, today's raining, right, in Jakarta, so it's good actually for duku tree, yeah?
Yeah.
So January is part of the rainy season in Jakarta, and Palembang, yes, I know it, has famous dukus in Indonesia with a sweet and bigger shape compared to other kinds of duku. Oh, that's why I love duku Palembang.
Yeah, but the worst thing about duku for me is the seed. Because
it's bitter.
Bitter.
Yes.
But I have a feeling that it has something good to our body. So duku has certain parts used for traditional medicine. The bitter taste from duku seeds would be grounded and added to water to treat fever and intestinal worms. Problem, yes.
I should drink it when I was a child.
Especially for kids, right?
For kids. When I was a kid, I should drink this one.
Exactly, yes. While the bark flower can be used as a medicine for malaria and dysentery, the bark flower is also used as a poultice to treat scorpion bites. The fruit's rind is also used as a diarrhea remedy, and the skin of the dried fruit can be burned to deter mosquitoes. So there are a lot of things that can be used from duku. Not only the the fruit itself, but also or the meat itself, but also the seed and the skin.
The skin and the flour of the skin, I know, because I remember when I was a kid, I mean, I got some dukus with some flour, you know. It's a bit whitey outside because I know it's part of duku Palembang, Palembang dukus. So I know we would like to try it abruptly and then but I think we need to deliver the story more about
Later on, I would choose duku with some kind of a brownish color in it because it means that it's quite, ripe.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So next fruit, before we eat this, the next fruit to hit the market in January is the rambutan. So let's have a look at this unique fruit.
Yes. So, Bams, you can take some of the rambutan. So the rambutan, which is a tropical fruit originating from, again, Southeast Asia, is known for its distinctive appearance with a hairy, red or yellow peel resembling soft spines. The fruit's translucent and juicy flesh, reminiscent of grapes with floral hints, encases a non-edible seed.
Yeah, beyond its fresh consumption, the rambutan is a versatile ingredient in salads, desserts, and beverages. The fruit is rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. A video had gone viral showing rambutan tree that was bearing fruit. You can take the fruit for free, but the base of the tree is a tiger waiting for you.
Oh my God.
It's in Ragunan Zoo in Jakarta.
Oh yeah?
Oh, this is a Ragunan Zoo.
If I'm not mistaken, this video from, you can take it there for free.
I'm afraid
but you have to be a really bestie,
really
friend
bestie,
with
or
the tiger.
really ready to die.
Yeah, I saw the video like, some guy just offering like, it's a free rambutan for you guys if you want to know, if you want to eat that, just climb it and just pick it. But yeah, they're showing the tiger.
Yeah, oh my God. I'm afraid that the tigers thought what's hanging up there, reddish and all that, it's meat.
Yeah.
They thought it's meat because it's
reddish.
Yeah, that's why they're waiting down there. But it's not. It's very sweet. I love it. But just be careful when you eat this a lot. You need to drink plenty of water because it's got some kind of I don't know what it is in English, like the getah. So it's going to make you sore throat and will cause to coughing.
Easily cough, because I did it when I was a kid again, because I'm so
in love with that. I would say that this is the lychee of Indonesia.
Yeah, I know. With the seed.
Refreshing my memory when you travel to Puncak Bogor and some sellers selling lychees, but actually it's not lychee. It's rambutan with shapes. Like you shape the hairs.
Oh, shaved?
Yes,
shaved rambutan turned into lychee.
Right?
It's a prank. But my favorite rambutan type is the rapia. The one with the green. Yeah.
Are you
shorter?
Huh?
With shorter hair.
Don't worry about it.
But it's easily peeled, right?
Yes.
Rapia.
I love it.
All right. Another fruit in the harvest. It's our seasons. This month is the kedondong.
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 Sounds a little cute. So this fruit, also known as ambarella or hog plum, it is a tropical fruit that grows in Southeast Asia, including Indonesia. Scientifically classified as Spondias dulcis, this unique and versatile fruit grows on a medium-sized tree that produces clusters of green, oval-shaped fruits. The kedondong has a distinct sweet and tangy flavor, making it a popular choice for various culinary applications.
Yes.
Whether consumed fresh, pickled, asin and rujak, or used in jams and chutney.
Yes.
The kedondong adds a refreshing twist to this. Yes, it's a bit short, yeah. Beyond its culinary appeal, the fruit is valued for its potential health benefits as it is rich in vitamin C, antioxidants, and fiber. The vibrant green hue and juicy texture of the kedondong make it a delightful addition to tropical fruit salads and beverages, showcasing the diversity of flavors found in the bountiful world of exotic fruits.
It is indeed. They are indeed exotic fruits, I would say.
Yeah.
And if you're living outside the Southeast Asian countries and you are very much wanting rambutan or even mangosteen or
go to the Chinese market.
If you go to the market, that's going to cost you a lot.
It is.
Yeah. Expensive. All right, lastly, we have the mangosteen. This tropical fruit has a sweet and sour taste and is valued for its health benefits. Let's see.
Yeah, the mangosteen, which has the Latin name Garcinia mangostana is believed to have originated in the Malay Peninsula before spreading to Indonesia. So the fruit's tree can reach 7 to 25 meters.
Oh, it's really high.
It is.
So the fruit is called mangosteen and is purplish red when it's ripe. It's ripe. Although there are also variants with red skin, the mangosteen is known in the trade as the queen of fruits, as a counterpart to durian, the king of fruits.
They have sort of like the same shape in the inside, no?
No.
And then who's the crown prince of fruit?
Let me think.
Rambutan?
Maybe rambutan. Let's offer rambutan. So this fruit is known to contain anti-inflammatory properties and has the highest level of antioxidants in the world as well.
Yeah, the mangosteen is also known to improve digestion, prevent constipation, and maintain internal health. In addition, consuming the mangosteen can also reduce the risk of cancers.
Oh.
So several laboratory studies have shown that compounds in mangosteen can help fight the growth of cancer cells.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
People with cancer, then mangosteen is a good fruit for you.
I know.
We have waited for so long.
Yeah, I know.
We have read a lot, and so it's time
It's
for
time
us to...
the best part of this segment.
Yeah, which
But
is
try
chicken.
foods.
look at this shape. Look at this.
That's
Oval.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you going to eat that one?
I thought that this is the avocados.
It looks like avocado,
It
you're
looks
right.
like the avocados,
But when you
right?
eat it, it's pretty hard, right?
It is.
Hard.
Yeah.
Very
I
hard.
know the most exotic part from Kedondong is the seed, actually.
The
You
seed.
know?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
It's a hairy, right?
Yeah.
Not just here, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
this,
very-
but inside, yeah, as the seed.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Who
Shall we
wants
try?
to try first? Okay.
Sure.
Let's try the rambutan.
How do you open rambutan, actually?
Rambutan, I just used my 2 fingers, a little bit of the nails, and then, you know, you cut it
I'm
open.
just using my teeth.
Really, Bams?
But you have to make sure that the skin is clean.
Clean? How are you?
No ends?
Did you wash the hair with shampoo?
No, actually, usually if you pick from the tree, usually there are some ends
Yeah.
around the rambutan skin. So be careful. If you
Oh.
want to bite it, check
This
it
is
first.
Juicy. This is very juicy, and it's also.
I'll try to
Okay.
bite this, yeah?
Yeah, try. Does it work well?
Yeah, look at this.
Oh my god.
Okay, both of you try rambutan. For me, I would like to try this mangosteen. Yeah,
So,
this is the
what's
way
the
of.
trick? What's the trick? What's the...
Oops, sorry for
Watch
the.
out, the juice.
Oh, you know that
This is
how
the
many
way of-
how many segments you can find inside is actually seen on outside.
Oh,
Yeah, you know how
From the leaf, yeah.
6,
yes,
right?
6. So you will find 6 compartments
Compartments. I like that. I like that.
of mangosteen inside the fruit. All
Okay,
right.
let's prove it.
Let's prove it.
Open it. Is
Okay.
it 6?
Oh, is it 6? Otherwise, it's gonna be a lie.
Oh my God, it's so good.
1, 2, 3,
The sweetness.
4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah, 6.
Correct.
Yes. 6 compartments.
3 small, 3 big.
Mangosteen.
But that's okay.
That's right.
Please.
And no seeds at all at this
Oh,
part
really?
for me.
Is it
Because
sweet?
a bit, yes, really sweet.
All right.
Do you eat the seed or
Eat it. If there's no seed, then just eat it
Just
up.
eat it.
eat right?
Nice.
You know what? When I was a kid, there's a commercial break.
I know that. Skin
You know
of
what I'm talking
mangosteen.
about? Mangosteen.
Okay.
The mangosteen
It's
skin.
like coming through my mind
Okay.
like
Okay.
every time.
Let's continue eating this seasonal Southeast Asia fruits. And please, producer, don't take it from our table. Just put it until our show. We will end our show. Meanwhile, City Stories will continue after the break. And of course, after the break, we will talk about Indonesian fruit that in seasonal January, we will make some creation with fruit.
Oh my God.
I can't wait for
Okay, this next challenge. So please stay with us. I mean, only on the Triamini Show, only on See Today.
I'm gonna make a mountain of fruit.
Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-host. Kita co-host.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on this map. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulis.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
About you that makes me indulge in the company of your own kind. Kabinjai migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku depot sih.
Ya aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Aduh ya Allah. Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mas.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week. Here at
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
Deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for Steve Today with Business with me, Caroline Sorokamana. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different when baguette. So with those appetites and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very special place for restaurant.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, lebih panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia keluar dia itu bergelombol menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
Hi, welcome back to 3-Hour News Show, and you are still watching our signature segment, See the Stories. And we had a talk about several fruits that are seasoned in January, and you can guess what else in the next story would we bring up to you guys.
It's going to be full of creativity.
Is actually we're going to make something very creative.
You are going to make.
No,
You
guys.
are going to make it.
You are
I'm going to eat.
Yes. No. You claim my position. Okay. This time it's a kind of bit of see the cooking stories, but we're not going to cook any fruits.
Yeah.
We just to manage to what we call it? Yeah, like
Garnishing.
garnishing, right?
Because we love animals, so we're going to make something with the fruits.
Yeah, we will try to make fruit garnish together, and we'll make a turtle.
Oh,
from,
you chose turtle?
I don't know, producer actually. you can change any shape of animals.
Yeah, you wanted to
with
make a gecko,
with
right?
simple
Gecko.
ingredients.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so we have the kiwis here.
Yes.
And we have to sort of like cut it open and maybe peel it. And also we have grapes and seaweed. So the seaweed is going to be used
tails.
as the eyes.
The eyes, yeah.
Of the turtles. And also with the help of the toothpicks as well, we're gonna wood every single fruit so that it connects together.
All right.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so
I think I will support you all because the situation here is so limited, you know. Yeah.
It's so packed.
Okay. You do it first.
You do it first.
You do it
I'm
first.
in the beginning and middle, so that's what we're gonna make, right? Okay.
Right.
Already.
So I think, or we can make it as a competition. You make it like your version and Bam's version, then my version.
Yeah. Sure,
I cut it wrong. Like should be this way, right? And then we're gonna sort of like, do we have to peel? Actually, we don't have to peel them.
I can peel this one.
This according, I think
It's a
you can
wrong way of cutting.
you
It's
can
okay.
create
I
it
love
as
something
like
wrong.
a hairy turtle, you know.
You mean, oh, yeah.
You know, a brownish hairy turtle.
Oh, you mean that really old turtle that lives for 100 years?
I think
how to peel.
That's tortoise.
Oh, Jesus.
Not turtle.
Tortoise. Okay, tortoise.
Tortoise.
Yeah, tortoise. Shall we make tortoise as well?
I don't know. We can make it.
If you can, yeah. There's no right or wrong in this thing.
Yeah.
So just use your creativity.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so we are still peeling the kiwi. This is going to take quite a while.
It's so hard though.
It is, right? Because you don't want to ruin the shape and also the meat. Because we're going to use it as the body of the turtle. Okay, so I'm just going to slice it into 3. It's going to be quite a skinny
Bams,
turtle.
I think you can make a pattern of turtle by not to peel it all.
Not peeling it all, just like that, and that, and that.
You're stealing my idea.
It was
No,
Akhir's
actually, Asi's idea.
It was Akhir's idea. Okay. I don't know if it is a good idea because you cannot eat it right away.
Yeah, I know.
So this is for decoration, as we mentioned before. This is garnishing. If you want to be creative with your garnish on the table, well, you can play around with the fruits. And have you seen like people creating flowers with any shapes from watermelon?
Oh, you know.
Dragons.
I know.
And oh my goodness,
You know,
that's like
the
a piece
best
of art.
people you can that usually do that is Balinese, you know?
Balinese.
Yeah,
yes.
Balinese. You go there to Bali and do.
Look.
Oh.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's good.
Meanwhile, I make the traditional one because I changed my mind that I want to eat all.
Okay. Okay, so it's okay. I use your idea.
So I make the idea of a green turtle, you know.
Okay.
So the greenish one, this one.
Okay. I'm trying to make the head as well as the hands parts of the turtle. I don't know whether it's gonna turn out well, but let's just see.
Do you guys, if I say kiwi, what the first thing first coming
New
to
Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah.
New Zealand, yeah.
Actually, kiwi is not only harvested in New Zealand, right?
No, I don't think so.
It's harvested in Indonesia too, right?
Really?
But
I don't
it's
know, I
not
just asked
originally from Indonesia.
And there are 2 types of kiwis. There's also the golden kiwi.
Yes, the yellow
See?
one.
The yellow ones, yes. Which one do you prefer? The
yellow one is more
sweet.
Just sweet.
Sweeter,
yeah.
yes. Which one do you prefer though?
The yellow one.
I like the green ones. They are very fresh. Super.
C'est super.
C'est super. Oh my God, this is going to... Okay, well, viewers, bear with us because we are such a perfectionist and we are not the pros, but we'll try our best.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah?
Yeah, we'll try our best. Is it like...
Oh. I got the wrong one, sorry. So I need to eat first.
Oh, that's just finding the reason to eat it.
I think the toothpick is too...
The sourness is so perfect.
Too big?
It's too big, yeah.
Yeah, too big. You can cut it open.
I did.
Cut it into half?
I did.
But I like it long because it made sure that it just goes into the body of the kiwi. Oh, my worst part in making this, I'm sure it will be the eye part.
Yeah.
Because you have to cut those. Oh, that's cute.
It's cuter.
It's a fat one.
Yeah.
I love my ideas.
Yeah, it's your
constructed
idea.
by you all.
Oh my God, this is not as easy as
Yes.
we thought.
It is.
It takes time, actually.
Takes time, super.
Okay, let's
Okay,
do this.
so while we're doing this, we're struggling so hard to get it done. We'll be back with your daily dose of entertainment in the last segment of the show. And you don't want to miss that. And of course, you're going to be entertained by our creations as well here. So stay tuned only on 3 Hour News Show on See Today.
Don't go anywhere.
So.
The beauty and the excitement of being there.
Indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we?
Come on in.
We found them.
where people come and go.
A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty only on See Indonesia.
I love this atmosphere.
Heading to Gili Trawangan.
And this is the travel note because life is dope.
Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-host.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick. Point to Manado on this map. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulis.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
About you that makes me indulge in the company of your own kind.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
Mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku depotsi.
Ya aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Aduh ya Allah. Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mas.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week. Here at
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for Steve Today with Business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Welcome back to 3 Hour News Show. It's time for... No, it's not Daily Days of Entertainment.
No.
Yeah.
We will bring some...
To bring you some updates for entertainment news.
Yeah.
But
Meanwhile, we are finishing,
we're getting that, we finishing our final touch for our garnish as a turtle. Like, the shape is turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's baby turtle. Oh my gosh, so cute.
Okay.
So great.
Bounce,
Yeah.
your turtle has no eyes. So it's a kind of blind turtle?
This is my eye.
Yeah, it's stuck there. It's stuck there.
It's like
Okay.
that. I'm so...
I finished it, but I know there's no equal size of
That's
two
like
eyes.
you're wearing a mask.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Or sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
Sunglasses. Turtle with the
Sunnies.
sunnies and summer vacation vibes.
Maldives.
I like that.
Maldives.
Okay. So.
All right. Meanwhile, while we're waiting for Bam's turtle eyes, okay, that's weird.
I did.
Bams, you
Ready?
can try it more.
Okay. Can I show mine as well? It's ready.
Oh, that's perfect. You just put it here. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make it as a turtle gathering.
One leg is
oh my
gone.
God.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We're trying to...
Okay. Meanwhile, you know our story for this last segment about a Korean concert in Jakarta.
Wow.
Wow. So again, we have that Golden Days concert here previously.
Yeah.
So soloist IU from South Korea formally announced her world tour, which featured several countries, including, guess?
Indonesia!
So let's take a look at the video.
Let's take a look.
Okay, I just know this is IU, eh? So at the end, what, Al?
At the end of the 2019, IU fulfilled her promise by holding her Love Poem concert tour in Jakarta due to the tremendous enthusiasm among fans. IU stated at the Tennis Indo Senayan concert stage that she wanted to return to Jakarta, Indonesia.
Yeah, IU has immense fame in Indonesia. To Indonesian fans, IU is more than just a singer, songwriter, or composer. She is also known as an actress in many iconic Korean dramas with high ratings such as Dream High, and Hotel de Luna. As turns out, IU is keeping her promise and will hold a world tour, Her, on April the 27th to 28th, 2024 at the International Convention Exhibition or ICE BSD City, South Tangerang.
I know why IU wants to go to Indonesia, go back to Indonesia.
Why?
Because IU in Bahasa Indonesia is beautiful, you know? You know, but it's in English, so this is I/-U, yeah?
Yes.
So in addition to her global hits such as Good Day, Celebrity, BBR, Palette, and many more, IU's brand new tracks from the upcoming album will be played live at HER or Her World Tour. All this will be accompanied by a number of performances and beautiful encores that are a signature of IU concerts. Bams?
Yes.
Return.
Yes, after officially announcing her world tour, IU began promoting her most recent comeback album with the pre-release single, Love Wins. The song will release along with a music video featuring 5 from BTS on January the 24th. Why, Arya?
Is that a mommy? Mommy.
Turtle mommy.
A mummified turtle. A mummified turtle. Okay.
Oh my God, Al, you're so ambitious. You can put it here as the leader of a turtle.
The leader of the turtle is probably this one.
This one. Yeah.
Yes.
What about me?
Oh, that's the mummified.
Mummified turtle.
Look at this.
And you killed the turtle. I mean, what is it? What kind of turtle? Is there any
horn?
tusk or horn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at this.
Horny turtles. I don't know. Why is it horn? Oh my goodness.
Turtle with
Well,
horn.
it's a Digimon actually.
Okay.
Have you watched Digimon?
No.
Yeah, it's a monster.
It's a monster.
It's trapped on.
Looks like Rafa.
Oh my God. You kill it. You kill it. You kill it.
You killed it.
Wait, Bams.
Mams, please.
Wait.
Okay.
I'll fix one of its leg.
Okay.
The grape is so good.
Yeah.
Now it's being operated
Yeah.
at the moment.
Yeah,
Under
I know.
procedure. So
I know.
yeah, I hope
This is the
it's-
most
it
weirdest.
gets well soon.
Where's the other leg, Bams?
Oh, I eat that.
You ate it? Yeah, it's too delicious not
Yeah.
to just have some
Christmas.
Mummified turtle.
mummified turtle.
Thank you for the creativity. The
There you go.
no
It's
box creativity.
eyeless one.
Okay, eyeless. Put it here.
Can I have an eyeless one? Let's.
Okay.
here.
What time is it now?
It's 8 o'clock. Oh my
Yeah.
God. This
Yeah.
garnishing takes a long time to make.
Alia.
But we are so happy
Yeah.
that we created this. Hopefully, this can be your inspiration
Yeah.
at home. Yes, there it is.
Yay!
Yay! Well done.
Well done.
And that does it for today's episode of the 3-Hour News Show on See Today.
Yeah.
And be sure to also follow us on social media through Instagram, X, YouTube channel at See Today News.
Yes, and See Today, of course, can now be enjoyed in Australia. If you're in Australia, on Foxtel OTT platform Flash app, or if you're in Macau right now, you can watch through cable Macau Cable TV channel 84. Or if you're in the Philippines, you can also watch the Convert Vision channel 58 and Singtel Singapore channel 15.
Yeah, for you, Telkomsel user, you can also watch See Today on Maxstream app. Don't forget to also tune in again, same time, on same channel, and be sure to also catch our morning show every day at 6 a.m. My name is Aditya Warman.
His name is?
My name is Muhammad Ahir. I'm so busy with some fruits.
And I'm Rahmalia. And the three of us would like to say,
See Indonesia, see the world, see today. See rambutan.
sea
Bye.
turtles.
See turtles.
Sea turtles, like they're on
Sea
the sea.
turtles.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Are we in? Yes, 3 devices. I hope it works. All right, come on. Yes! What? Huh? 256,000 people are in the queuing room. This is impossible. Okay, come on. Universe, works with me, please. God, I'm so nervous. Okay, Stray, pick up. Hi! Hello, Stray. How are you, buddy? Hi! I'm good, Stray. How are you? No, I just want to say that I love you so much, you know that? Right, I know, yes, I'm having a little trouble here when, I'm trying to get into the web for